Hey, welcome. Welcome, AJ. Peace, love, and light. Peace and greetings to all the peoples that are joining the live. We're going to start it up in just 1 minute. Hey, peace, Jimmy, Shannon, Wendy. Welcome. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. Peace, everybody. This is the platform where we pursue knowledge and where we expose toxic conditioning, propaganda, and global lies. Because in order to come into the truth, you got to know that you're being lied to. This is where we apply critical thinking to have a meaningful reality rooted in universal truths and empowering awareness. All day, every day, today. Welcome. Welcome, Grand Rising, yes. Welcome, Ufuse, Abel. Welcome, Soul of Atlas. Welcome to Honey Yo, Hayward. Peace, love, and light to everybody. And Supreme Grand Rising. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. I'm making sure that this energy has nothing but positive energy and dispel all negativity and negative energy. Because you don't have to look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. You light up the darkness in the tunnel. Divine honors to the universe, divine honors to the earth, and divine honors to our ancestors that guide us, that protect us, and divine honors to the great creator of all. Make it all possible. Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness, to the Network of Awareness, to the Network of Awareness.
Yes, peace, love, and light, everybody. And Supreme Grand Rising to all the brothers and sisters from the same creator joining this live on TikTok. I'm your host, ORRA the Informationalist, also founder of Creative Media Concepts, which brings to you a network of podcasts. This one is the foundation of it all, Network of Awareness. And if this is your first time here, we pursue knowledge, right? Knowledge of self. And we pursue that knowledge so that we can expose this toxic conditioning, so we can expose the propaganda, and we can expose the global lies, the long legacy of the lies that we've been told that some of us have inherited. But what we also do is we apply critical thinking, because it is paramount in these days and times, in this zeitgeist that is now transitioning to the age of enlightenment. We expose it all and we pursue that knowledge so we can have a meaningful reality rooted in universal truth. And what does that do? That empowers awareness. It empowers the consciousness in you, that which you are, is, and always will be. So I want to welcome everybody that's coming into the live. I'm going to be switching up screens. As you can see here, I got a little bit creative here with the lettering, right? This is the Free Dome series. We have to free dome. We have to free our domes, because the dome is containing a lot of suppression, a lot of mental slavery, right? Didn't the great Bob Marley say only ourselves can free our minds? We got an early riser here. Peace, love, and light.
Peace. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling phenomenal with a side of fantastic.
Man, love to hear it.
I've never seen you on Amnesia. I think I've seen you before, but I don't think you've ever joined my panel, have you?
I don't believe so. I think I've came through, but I haven't joined.
Yeah, this is your first time, and you've come on early. You came during the intro, so what would you like to share on the Network of Awareness?
Man, I don't know. Like, I just seen this and my mind just went everywhere, but the process, like the energy riser and all, it's a lot. but it's a painful process, but it's beautiful.
Right, because nothing that is worth having comes easy, at least in this third dimensional density realm that we live in. That's the way it's been conditioned. And I only say conditioned because at one time things were easy. At one time we just were. We didn't have to try to do anything else but be ourselves. But because we live in a manipulated matrix that is filled with dark magic and sorcery and all other type of hellish manipulations, we got to work hard in our healing so that we can be the purity in which we come into this world as.
Man, I'm seeing all the gods and goddesses putting in the work right now. And it's like me seeing them do the work, it just motivates me to put in that extra.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And it's a great time to be alive, isn't it?
Man, the best.
And what are some of the manifestations and the things that you are seeing come into fruition that's showing you that all of this malevolence is going to be wiped out with all of this high frequency positive energy?
So for starters, I'd say I'm seeing it within the youth right now the most because they're the most pure, they contain the most light. And I'm seeing like my little siblings and stuff, they're doing like master level alchemy and stuff. And I'm seeing how it's affecting other people. And I'm like, yo, this is some serious stuff that's going on right now. I'm seeing stuff coming through, the channelings and all of that. It's just all coming through right now. Like the light is coming through the dark right now.
And it's a beautiful thing to be a witness of. What is it that you are personally doing to pretty much like I put here, what are you doing to yoga your universe? What are you doing to bring out the starseed truth and the divine in you?
I stopped trying to, because for a while I was trying to make other people see my own light, right? But I started just staying silent and just observing, and I've noticed like the light that's within me, and I've been able to just be my true self now. Like I don't have to fake or hide or anything anymore. I'm just freely moving about this in this lifetime, like just freely, like finding my true self. Like I'm in my physical form right now, but I've been starting to see like my higher dimensional forms and stuff.
That's beautiful. And I'm glad that you stopped trying to make people see your light, because that's like trying to prove the truth. We don't have to prove the truth. Too many of us are trying to prove the truth when the truth is absolute. It doesn't need to be proven. It just is. So I'm glad that you stopped doing that, because you don't need to make people see your light. They just will. Because your light just is. The truth in you just is. It just has to be experienced. It doesn't have to be proven to anyone or to anything. That's like the sun trying to prove to us that it provides light. It just does. It doesn't have to prove anything.
Could I ask you something too?
Of course.
Basically what you asked me too. What have you been doing?
An immense amount of healing, and not just for myself. I've been connecting to the inner child in me like never before. I've been healing the child that has been suppressed, the child that has been criticized, the child that's been demonized for just existing. I've been healing that child greatly. I've been manifesting at will positive energy that always corrects errors. So I've been bringing a lot of healing to the brothers and sisters on multiple platforms, whether it's on my radio show that broadcasts to 152 countries, whether it's my podcast network that broadcasts to 100 countries, or whether it's this TikTok live and the people that I come in contact with. I've been a guiding force of light that is an example of healing and providing an energy of healing. And not only just for, like I said, for myself, because I have to become the change that I want to see in the world, but the change that I want to see in the world within me is now emanating to my other fellow brothers and sisters that come from the same creator. So what I've been doing is immense. That's my one word I can answer for you, is healing. And not just for myself, but for all my brothers and sisters. And it's been a wonderful experience, because we have to heal, but we also have to remember we cannot heal in the very same places that hurts us. That's why it's so important for ascension, because this third dimensional density has been so manipulated and its perceptions have been poisoned. It's a poisoned perception reality that we have to step outside of it in order to heal from it and raise it to a whole different level of consciousness and vibration, so that the vibration that currently exists no longer can persist to exist because it can't vibrate on a higher frequency. And you'll notice that whenever there's a toxic situation and you come in with all of the positive energy, like compassion, like unconditional love, like gratitude, humility, you'd be surprised how those powerful forces that reside in you, that you are an expression of within the highest form, wind up dispelling any type of toxic negative energy. And this is what I'm doing. And this is what I chose to do. And this is the mission that I was given by the great creator of all. And it was revealed to me a long time ago in 1996. People always say I came into the truth in 2020. And then they ask me, I've been in the knowledge and awareness of the awakening since 1996. So now, several decades later, because that's when I was 18 years old, I was told I was going to be a messenger for the creator at 18 years old. And guess what? That's exactly what I am. And that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing the message of the great creator of all to remind people that the light is not somewhere distant. It's not at the end of the tunnel. It's within you. Always has been. Always will be. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. It's not a time to be in fear. This is not a time to be in doubt. We don't give benefits to the doubts. We eliminate all doubt. And we use our circumspection and our discernment to understand that if something smells rotten in Denmark, it's probably rotten. And there's no need to question or to contemplate it anymore. You do away with it. You throw it away. You let it go because it doesn't serve you. And these are the things that I'm doing, brother. This is how we have to bring about change, because the only way we bring about change, the only way we truly become awakened, we cannot wake each other up individually. That's not what we're meant to do here. But what we're meant to do is to wake ourselves up. That's why I'm glad you said that you stop trying to help or make people see your light. You don't have to make them see your light. You walk in the example of what your light represents and you honor it. You give divine honors to the very universe that's within you. You give divine honors to the Mother God consciousness and the Father God consciousness. Or should I say the Mother Goddess consciousness. You give divine honors to the feminine and masculine principle. You give divine honors to the ancestors. And of course, you give divine honors to the pure matrix, which is the Mother Womb, Mother Earth.
Yes, sir.
This is what we do. This is how we create the reality that we want to see manifest within this world. This is how we bring heaven to earth. And at the only time we had heaven on earth when we were operating in the fifth dimensional light was during the times of Lemuria. And if you do your research during the times of Lemuria, it was all ruled by the Mother Goddess consciousness. Lemurians were the divinity or the epitome of the female divinity that guides all.
It was all the divine feminine on top.
Correct.
Man.
And I'm very manly. I got a lot of masculine energy, but I know what is and I know what isn't. And I've been around a lot of wicked ass churches. I've been around a lot of wicked ass Hebrew Israelites that swear they spiritual and they ain't worth shit. And they over here teaching women, beautiful caramel, melanated, copper tone women, telling them that they're the weaker vessel. Are you shitting me?
Tripping.
And got women, I'm talking about, they got women so confused that some of these wives are reading other books that provide this type of information and they're putting different covers on it so their husbands won't know. Man. And this is the type of shit we got to stop and put an end to once and for all.
For sure. Because with me right now, I ain't gonna lie, ever since I came back, I've been more in my divine feminine, right?
Right.
And it was like I went in and out of the consciousness. So when I went back out of it, I was mainly in my divine masculine, right? But right now, I'm mainly in my divine feminine, and I'm trying to balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine.
Just do it. Don't try. Just do it. You already know. All the answers are within you. You have a whole library inside of you of knowledge called DNA. And that's just the name it's been given, right? Because it's so much more than just those three letters. You have divine knowledge all running through your spirit, meaning your spine, because that is the spear, right? The spine is the spear. It's the spirit. And you have all of that spirituality running through you, right through your spine, right through the Kundalini rising. You have the sacred secretion that you can access.
You said
the spine is the spear. If you look at the spine, right, and the way it's formed, and shout outs to Booker Johnson because he teaches all of this. The spine, when you look at it, it comes down the vertebrae, right? And it comes down into a point. That is the spear. And that is the representation of the spirit in the body. See, the body is a representation of the universe as well. Right. That's why if you really dissect the Bible, particularly not the James, because the King James Bible is nothing but demonology masquerading as something spiritual. But when you really read, the Bible is a representation of the body and the divine principles of how the body operates with everything else, with the soul, with the mind being that broadcasting station that has to be running optimally so it can broadcast at a further distance than the distance that it does because of all the impurities and all of the GMOs and all the other shit that we put in our bodies that corrodes the pineal gland and calcifies it. So the body is, the spear is the vertebrae. It's the spinal cord. And I want to make this very clear too, is that when I come up here and speak, right, and people say, oh, you have a lot of knowledge. I have a little bit of knowledge, right? Because there's things, I don't have a belief system anymore. And those that have beliefs, that's wonderful. That means that you actually trust in something that you desire to know. Right. But I've gone beyond that. And the reason why I say I've gone beyond it is because all the beliefs that I once had that I trusted in have been shattered by the divine, shattered into pieces. Now there's only the knowing. I've been on this journey where I've had hope, and my hope has led me to a path to where I met to the gateway of faith. And that was that belief system. And then it led me to the doorway of knowing. But once I walked through that doorway of knowing, I know that unconditional love is the only truth and everything else is just an illusion. That's it. That's where I'm at.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
But it's not just about me. I'm a reflection of you and you're a reflection of me. So all I could do is be an example for you and everybody else I come across as it was intended. We have to be examples for each other, because when we walk as an example of the light, then what it does is somebody that doesn't know, somebody that can't even believe, somebody that is living hopelessly, they can see you as the inspiration. They can see you as a guiding light, as a beacon to something that they can realize and self-actualize within themselves. The problem is, though, the challenge is that there are many of us that are not willing to be inspired. There's many of us that walk around unrealized potential. So when you walk around as unrealized potential, you do nothing but hate. You become a hater. You become jealous. You become envious. I'd rather be a congratulator than a hater. I congratulate my brothers and sisters for their great works, for their great deeds. And I really congratulate my brothers and sisters from the same creator when they realize that the creator's within them and that they love themselves unconditionally for it. That's when I really sound the trumpets.
Man, this whole live, I don't know, you haven't even been talking for long, but this just lightened my day. It just tapped me back into that perspective that I fell back off.
That's what we're here for, brother. We're here to lift each other up. What else are we going to do? Hate on each other? Destroy each other like we've been doing? We've been fed a lie, man. And that lie is disgusting and foul. And I shit on that lie every single day. And I really mean that. That's my little analogy. I shit on it. No matter what toilet I sit on, I shit on it and I flush it down. It's nothing. It's nothing but waste. I do not support any type of malevolent narrative that's been fed here. And sometimes there's people that come on here and they want to spew some spells in their little narratives that is nothing but wicked and low-level negative energy. And we got to dispel it. And we do it with love. But sometimes, depending on the level of energy, you got to bring that force.
Right.
Because the creator ain't no sucker.
Nope.
Never has, never will be.
Not gonna baby you.
See, the negative forces, these archons, these people that throughout the cosmos, these that are fellow brothers and sisters, they operate off the principle of superiority of self. They're weak. The only reason they even have the perception of giving off the perception of any type of strength is through their manipulations. Mm-hmm. But that time is about to be over. It's just like the narcissist, right? What do narcissists do? Narcissists hate you. But why do they hate you? Because they come from such a deep insecurity, because they don't know how to love themselves. Mm-hmm. So the best thing for them to do in their perspective is to hate on you and siphon energy off of you so that they can feel a false sense of goodness about themselves. You ever been around a narcissist? You ever been with one? Uh-huh. Yeah. What do? When you running rampant or frantic, questioning yourself, lost from the gaslighting that they've imposed on you, they feel like a pig in shit. They feel like $1 million. Uh-huh. You ever notice that when you with a narcissist and they've been ciphering energy off of you, they start looking younger?
Yo.
And in the moment you drop them like a bad habit, all of a sudden they start looking like shit.
Yo,
I know
let me
us all too well.
Let me tell you something, bro. Because there is this one chick I was messing with, right?
Brother, let's not call them chicks.
Yeah, my bad.
That's okay.
I was talking.
Sometimes too, I got to correct myself as well. Go ahead.
I was talking to this one goddess. Before we started talking, she was like, I'd look at her face and she was just pale, like no light in her face. And then after we started talking, I was feeding her all my love and all of that goodness. And
she was glowing.
Yo, like she was radiating. I could see her aura like pulsating white light. But I felt drained. I felt like I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't get up and maneuver how I usually would. And as soon as I cut it off, went straight back to that pale face.
Yeah.
And it hurt because I only had nothing but love for her. Because I seen that potential within her. I seen what she could be.
And that's the thing, is that they intentionally do that and they suffer for it. A lot of these people, like Aleister Crowley and all that, they suffer greatly. A lot of people said, oh, they were the high level magicians and warlocks. Yeah, they were, but they suffered greatly for it. And not just suffering from it on the other side, but what they projected on people and done to people here, but they suffered for it while they were still in their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't even realize that Aleister Crowley was destitute during the later part of his years. And he suffered physically greatly from all types of diseases and ailments. And this is what happens. This is what happens. You give what you get. The universe don't discriminate. The universe doesn't know what discrimination even means. Because the universe just is. It's either you're in that positive stream or you're not. And when you're not in that positive stream, you're just distracted from yourself. And the archons know this. That's why they have you get distracted from yourself and give them your attention. Give the attention to their narrative. That's what a spell is. A spell is nothing but a narrative that's casted from the tongue of somebody's mouth onto your ears. And then when you hear it, you give it energy or you don't. And most of us do. And a lot of us are under spells. That's why you got to spell into your life. You got to cast energy into your life that's positive. You create the reality. You speak the words of wisdom into existence. Nobody else. Just you. Bro, let me tell you something. You mind if I tell you a story and have everybody else listen?
Nah, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you something. I've had this happen throughout my life, but back in 2022, I had a whole group of people. It was all orchestrated by one man and by the woman I was in a relationship with from Louisiana, who was a malignant narcissist. And she was literally working behind the scenes with everybody that I was communing with and building with, people I was doing business with, people I was helping, being charitable to. And she pretty much throughout our whole relationship was going behind my back and creating a narrative of who I was. And a lot of these people got sucked into it. Not all, but most did. And then the ringleader of it all, right? He had a long-standing platform that has transitioned to multiple platforms, where he originally started in Blog Talk. And when I tell you this dude was hating on me, kept saying that he's a trendsetter and I'm some Gentile or some whatever he had against me, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to say that he was a trendsetter, but meanwhile, the whole time he was saying he was a trendsetter, every idea, every episode I put out on Network of Awareness, everything I put out, he copied and just changed the wording here and there and then try to make it his own. Still doing it to this day, literally still doing it to this day, right now as we speak. And he got all these people along with her. Mind you, this is the woman that I was like, that was telling me she loves me, that I was laying down with.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody turned on me. And it was such, when I tell you, it was a powerful negative force. These people were telling me, texting me, putting on social media, particularly this was on IG. They were telling me to go unalive myself. All of them. They were casting spells on me or trying to, for me to unalive myself. And I'm talking about, it got so intense that I actually felt the demonic forces surrounding me. You ever saw the movie Riddick?
Oh, I already know where you're going.
Okay, so you remember in Riddick when the guy turned on the light or the little torch and all of those demons and alien entities was around him?
Uh-huh.
That's what it was like. That's how powerful that shit was.
Man.
But all that shit got casted away. All of it. I was protected. No matter how crazy it got, no matter how powerful that force was, it wasn't going to work. Yeah, I cried. I was in pain. I went through some suffering. I went through a lot of anger because I wanted to unalive a couple of people because I was like, oh, you don't know who you're dealing with. Yeah. And I started thinking cardinally. I started thinking like, oh, you want to go to war? Like on some Tony Montana shit. I was ready to do that because I used to be about that life.
Uh-huh.
But what the great creator showed me and my ancestors showed me, it was like, this is light work. This is nothing. This is nothing but just a distraction because they know how powerful you are. The enemy's always known and they're trying to get you again, just in a different way. They try to get you through the succubus, through the harlot, but it didn't work because I'm still here better than ever.
Yo, you just connected some dots for me, bro.
I'm glad I was able to do that. Hold that thought, and we're going to come back to you. Let's just welcome this other guest that is up here. Welcome to the Network of Awareness.
What's up, Nordic?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes?
My question is, I see this really often. I'm trying to figure out how I want to word this. I see this really often on here, is that people have a tendency to start these little things, right? And when they start these little things, they have a tendency to just like preach to people. Is that what you're trying to do? Just preach to people?
No.
Oh.
That's your perception though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine, right? I would imagine that if you wanted people to just be happy, why would you go around preaching your stuff to them? Why not just keep it to yourself?
Is that a question?
Yeah, that's a question.
Because I choose to spread a message of love and light, which I have every right to do.
Yeah, but that's subjective to you. That's
No,
what
it's
you
not. It's not.
That's
It
what
has nothing to do with being subjective to me.
That's what you define it
That's
as.
your perception. That is your perception. But it has nothing to do to be subjective. It's just the truth. Just like it's in you, it's in me. Now, whether you choose to realize that or not, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
They said a quit. I was just trying to say something.
You've been trying to say something since you got on here, and I'm still trying to understand what you're trying to say because it sounds like
What I'm trying to say is that
Hold on.
Okay.
This is my life. I speak. You are trying to criticize me in a polite way. And I'm telling you, it's not going to rock here, homie. It ain't happening. Not today.
Not trying.
You're trying to come with some type, you're trying to patronize me in the process while trying to criticize me. And then you're trying to tell me like you want me to make sense to myself. How does that work?
All I'm trying to say.
I'm too old for that. I've been around too long for this nonsense.
Okay. All I'm trying to say is that your version of love and light is
not about my version. See, here we go again. This is your perception. It's not about my version. That is your perception. That is your narrative that you're trying to paint the picture on this live right now. And it ain't going to work.
Why is that? Why are you making this an objective truth?
It's not, I'm not making it anything. It is the truth. It's absolute. I'm just sharing it with my fellow brothers and sisters from the same creator. What are you doing?
So what cult is this?
This is not a cult. Am I trying to get people to pray to a certain deity? Am I getting people to try to do anything? Am I asking for money right now? Am I asking people to follow me as I'm the way and the light? I'm not doing any of that, homie. Let me explain something to you. What you're doing right now is part of the problem. This is what I'm dispelling, is what you're actually doing right now. You are coming from a place of you have an antagonistic spirit on you right now, and it ain't going to shine here. It's not going to shine. It's not going to have any relevance to what's going on right now. And I'm exposing that antagonistic spirit that's in you right now because you over here coming with a very poisoned perception about what I got going on here. It's poison.
Is it?
You keep breathing hard too.
I'm not breathing.
It's like you're trying to put your words out and you keep doing this.
Smoking a cigarette, dude. What are you talking about?
You keep breathing hard because it's almost like
a cigarette,
you're
dude.
against yourself to try to prove something that can't be
literally
proven.
just smoking a cigarette, but
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. You sound drained, bro. Like you sound exhausted.
I'm not drained. I just woke up.
Okay, so you woke out of the bed to criticize my live. You came here to criticize the network of awareness. That's what you came to do?
That's not what I came to. I came to have a conversation, but it quickly devolved into what it's devolved.
No, it did not quickly devolve. It just got exposed for what it really is. You came with criticism.
I didn't come
unhealthy criticism to be exact. Unconstructive criticism to be exact.
Yeah, all I was trying to say was that saying something's an objective truth is illogical.
Nordic, is there anything else you want to share before I have to drop you from the panel?
Yeah, all I wanted to say was like everybody understands a reality differently.
Okay, so how do you understand your reality? Since you're talking about everybody does this, why don't we talk about you? Because you're saying a lot about everybody, but what about you? How do you perceive reality?
How do I perceive reality?
Yeah, you got a lot of questions, right? I'm asking you just one question. You've asked 5. I'm asking you 1.
Yeah. How do I perceive reality? I perceive reality as,
That's the problem. You don't have to ask the question to yourself because you already know.
Dude, I was just repeating your question so I could answer.
So then answer it. We waiting patiently.
Are you patient?
Absolutely.
You sound a little irritated.
Actually, I'm not. I just speak with passion, brother. I have a lot of masculine energy, so I speak with force and intensity.
I'm 6'7", dude. What are you talking about? Okay, anyway.
This is not a beast swinging contest, brother. And you're not going to bring me into a peace. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is not a peace swinging contest. I'm not getting into that. Okay. I'm not going to have an egoic conversation with you. I asked you a simple question that we're still waiting the answer. We're still waiting for the answer.
Well, my reality is informed by a lot of different things. My reality is informed by my belief system. If you tapped on my profile, you'd probably understand how I perceive reality in the first place.
But brother, we're asking you to explain it right now. We're not asking you to go onto your platform or to look at your bio. I'm asking you right now, here and the now.
So it's informed by my belief system. And my belief system, right, is I'm a third generation also true practitioner, right? And my belief system is essentially aggressive self-reliance, right? Not relying on anybody else for anything, right? And understanding that I'm the only person who's going to save me. Nobody else is going to, right? And I'm the only person who can do good for me, right?
That's everything we talk about here in the network of awareness, by the way.
Around me, being a positive human being, right?
Yeah, that's what we talk about here at the network of awareness.
Yeah, but you're saying, I'm a polytheist. You're saying that it's one singular thing. That's improbable.
That's not what I'm saying. If you would just listen to what I'm saying and go through the whole live and just listen, then you would know what I'm saying. But you just came here half asleep, coming to antagonize and to criticize something that you even haven't taken the time and patience to listen to.
But this is just new age.
I'd like to say something.
Hold on a second. Hold on. There's something I want to do real quick. That's it. We're done with that.
Okay. I'm interested in the idea of a positive perspective. And recently I've put a lot of focus on embodying truth and the willingness to see that whatever I consider truth in the moment is always worth questioning. That, like you said, belief systems create our reality, and the mindset is something we can always shift. Pretty much just going through everyday life, asking myself how I can apply unconditional love to myself and other selves, and how I can stand in my truth despite how often this reality asks us to exchange our truth for survival. So that's just a few points I have on being positive, but just interested in seeing what you guys have to say.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, because I just want to block this dude that reported me, and I just reported him back, and now I'm going to block him. There we go.
I just reported him too, bro.
That's okay, because that's what they come here to do. You see how long it took him to actually even say something? Because he was conflicted within his own spirit. He was conflicted. You understand? I don't got time for that bullshit, and especially on this damn virtual reality app. Because if we was in person, I guarantee you that his energy would not be presented to me in that way. I can guarantee it. But because we're on this app, he can talk like he didn't even know what the hell was going on. He just woke up and came on the app and saw this image and heard me talking for 30 seconds and wanted to tell me and started putting little laughing symbols here. We cannot entertain this energy, people. Can't even give it a little bit of a microcosm of anything. And the only reason I'm even giving it energy right now is for that very reason, to use this as an education for us to know what is and what isn't, and what we don't need in our universe, in our reality that we're creating for ourselves. So sis, go ahead, repeat your question one more time. And my apologies for you having to experience that nonsense and that mumbo jumbo.
I just have a few points that came up in ways that resonated with me. What you just said about basically that we don't have to deal with certain entities, applying discernment and yes, and understand, like being able to see their intention. But I've had I'm just going to try to keep this part short, but I want to tell you a little bit about my life leading up to this point. I was very lost in people pleasing. So there was a lot of manipulation for survival, a lot of anger, self-hatred, mostly feeling like I was betraying people while also trying not to hurt them. And it was this vicious cycle. I completely lost my identity and had a pretty bad breakdown 2 years ago. And since then, I've just been healing, like learning myself, things like that, and a lot of reframing. So that's where I'm at now. And a lot of my current mentality is very open, very unprotected. And I'm not saying that that's where I'm at. And I've been learning the value of protection. So I've been observing people and how they handle entities, energies, and just shit that don't resonate and not having it around them. And then I have this inclination to really question those people because I see it as they are misaligned from self. And by asking questions to guide, and this isn't something I expect people to do, this is just something I like to do. So that's just a little note I had in there. And I'm trying to find the balance there, where it's some people you just say, all right, fuck out of here. And then other people, it's going to ask you some questions and see if you can find deeper answers within your inner world.
Didn't we try to just do that with, what was his name? I forgot his name. That's how much impact he's had on my life. But I forgot his name. Was it Nordic something?
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't that what we tried to do with him just now? Did we?
It can look a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different approaches to that. And I believe, I don't know, it's about the questions. It's hard for me to say because I just got here. I actually got here at the tail end of it. And I was like,
you didn't get to the beginning part. Okay.
Exactly. I didn't see any of it. So I don't know how to actually, I only saw the ending, and I'm not like, that's not necessarily the.
You can trust and believe me or not. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I can tell you that he came with a lot of bullshit. Let's just put it in layman's terms. He came with a lot of nonsense. He came to criticize. He came to try to say that I had a cult. He even insinuated that I had a cult here. Little does he know that what I have going on here is actually a podcast network of people that are doing nothing but raising the vibration here on earth, bringing heaven to earth in a multitude of ways that I support. What he doesn't realize is that I've been doing this for a long time. And I recognized his energy probably within the first 3 seconds of when he came on and started breathing. I can tell, like, I'm very empathic. So when people start breathing a certain way, I already know what's to come. And I already knew it was going to be some low level shit like you were explaining, where these people haven't realized their potential. They don't know who they are. So the lowest common denominator for them is to try to belittle, to try to hate, to come with some negative perceptions that haven't even presented themselves, because there's nothing I can tell you for a fact, because I've seen cults. There's nothing about what I'm doing that's a cult. Matter of fact, I always let people know that whatever information I provide is to do their own research, and damn sure do not venerate me like I'm some god or something. I'm just like you. I breathe the same air you breathe. I take dumps just like you. I fart, I sneeze, I chew my food, I swallow just like everybody else. And all of the divine that's within you, all I do is spread a message to let you know that it's there and embrace it. One of my favorite sayings that came to me from the creator, from all consciousness, is that the light is in you, meaning don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. That's what I do. I also remind people that when you live in the present, there is always an opportunity for a new beginning, because the beginning is always now.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I do. Does that sound cultish to you?
Yeah. And the first thing I'd say is, what is a cult to you?
Exactly.
And like what? Yeah, exactly. Just asking questions. That's my big thing. But I respect your approach towards it too. I think that it's like when people start coming in with hate, this is again, forming these beliefs. I'm forming how I think about these things. But I've seen people who are very high vibrational, and when they sense what they consider a demonic, they reflect back basically to scare it away rather than to even humor its existence. And I think I have a different purpose as a soul here. There's so much of where I thrive and where I gain energy is in approaching these entities and just fully questioning them. And the reflection becomes, I am light. You are whatever you are. And I'm going to show you what you are by shining a light mirror on you. Guiding. I think everyone's approach is valid to this sort of thing. I'm just figuring out my own.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. What you saw me do, I haven't done something like that. I think in 2 weeks it's been. My lives have been very peaceful and pleasant. What I've come to the awareness of is that when that type of energy comes in there, I'm gonna smack it up. I'm gonna smack the shit out of it. No, I'm being serious.
No.
And this is my own personal thing, is I'm gonna smack the shit out of you when you try to come here and disrespect not just me, but everybody here that's trying to raise their vibration, that's trying to heal. I'm not going to allow you to try to infect a healing process, because if I got the strength to smack you, best sure I'm going to swing. And it's not that I'm promoting violence of any sort, but it's like what he was trying to do was violent on a psychological level, on a spiritual level. It was violent. It was extremely violent, because he was trying to come with some false perception of what was actually happening. And this is what spelling is. We all spelling, right? We're all casting spells. It's whether you're casting a spell for the betterment of all, or are you casting a spell to devolve? And he was definitely casting a spell to devolve because he was putting a narrative out there like cult, straying people away from their own thoughts and all this other madness. And the sad part is that he couldn't even say it properly. He couldn't even enunciate it. He couldn't even pronounce it with words. That's how conflicted he was. And I just was like, enough is enough, because I felt it immediately soon, because I saw in his comments he was laughing of everything I was saying. He was putting like laughing emojis. And those are the types of people that I've been around a lot. I've been around those types of people where immediately they just hate on you. They hate on the way you look. They hate the way you dress. I've dealt with this stuff. I've dealt with this. I'm a very good looking man, still good looking at 46 years old. I don't even look my age. And I get these dudes that just, as soon as they see me, they go into this haterism. It's hard to explain, but I've seen it. I don't entertain it no more. I used to be like, oh, why do they hate me? Why do they not like me? I've been nothing but kind and loving to this person. It's because they don't love themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm like seeing when I see them. Okay, because when they project a false perception of me, okay, I've had a fear of rejection my whole life. So I've cared way too much about what other people think of me until now. So at some point I saw myself as standing on a pillar, and all they can do is look at it and they can comment on it. They can tell me it's pretty. They can tell me it's ugly. It's just a perception. It's just one side of my pillar, one slab of my pillar. And I just, there's so much here. It's so much.
It is. But the thing is, it all starts with you loving yourself. And then that love, that unconditional love, emanates out of your auric field and it starts to spread. It starts to become contagious. So let me read something to you, sis. Let me read something to you, okay? And this is for the live. So this is something I just wrote several days ago. All right. This is the vibration that I'm operating right now. I'm a poet. I'm also a lyricist. All right. I'm also an audio engineer and writer. And I've done a lot of work up until this age right now. And I have so much more work to do. All right. But I can tell you that everything that I talk about here, I live it. I do not tell you anything that I'm not doing. And I never will talk about things that I don't know about and act like I do know about it. That's why I have my fellow brothers and sisters to come on here and talk about it and explain it, because they do know it. And the problem is a lot of us, many of us that don't love ourselves, we're so insecure. We try to pretend to be something we're not. And in those of us that are living in this truth, that are resonating with this truth and applying it, right? Because knowledge is not power unless it's applied. But those of us that are applying it, we can see right through the bullshit. Just like this guy that came on here. You know what I mean? Couldn't even answer a simple question as to what is it that he represents for himself. Couldn't even answer it. Wound up telling us to go to his channel. Go to my channel and see what I talk about or see what I do. No, we want to hear it from you right now. Especially when people like how he did when they asked the question again. When you ask them a question and they repeat it, that is a sign that they are not in the knowing.
Yeah, it's not a question they've asked themselves kind of thing.
Exactly. They have to question themselves because they don't even know. The self doesn't even know. That's why I was like, come on, bro. Not today. Not today, homie. No. And I don't really like saying I'm too old for this shit because I'm not really old. I'm very vibrant and young in this body, but I'm too old for that shit. I've done seen it before. I heard it. I knew it, but I wanted to just let him be, right? Because I got to still show him love. I can't be a hypocrite and not love the brother because I still do. All right. I just don't like his ignorance. I can't entertain it. But I want to read this to you and then we'll go to amnesia, and you're more than welcome to stay as always. Like, we all about unity, constant collaboration here. We don't got time to entertain stupidity and ignorance. So
I have one thing I want to say. I'm willing to wait until after, but that resonated with me.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're talking about unity, consciousness, no room for stupidity. And it got me back to thinking, protecting the space and the value of that.
Yes.
And yes, it's even if theoretically we could put all of our time and energy into doing that reflection I was talking about, mirroring, whatever, asking questions, giving them that like timeless openness to actually explore their own misaligned perspectives, basically. It's actually a different kind of space with a different intention. And your intention here is more, okay, everyone that already is on board and like already does see these things. I don't have to bring you to it. You're there. And we're all going to then raise it. And I see that. And it's like just detecting what doesn't need to be around. That's just going to bring it down. Like you said, devolving it. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. And it's all about protecting your space and setting the proper boundaries. Setting boundaries, not putting up walls. walls. Setting boundaries is letting people know where you stand so that when they come into your house, they know the rules to follow. When they're in your home, just like when somebody has to take off their shoes. And if they can't follow those rules, they got to go. And what's the number one thing with narcissists? What do we have to do to make sure that they don't have any opportunity to hurt us no more? We have to go no contact, right?
Yeah. People call it like the rock or something, some gray rock.
Right.
Completely unentertaining and completely distant. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I had to do with the brother. It was just go no contact, block him.
It's so
and
sad.
What did he say? He said he reported me as soon as I dropped him. I didn't block him yet. He reported me. What you report me for? For not allowing you to spew your ignorance onto this platform? Come on. But listen, you said about space, right? Mm-hmm. Protecting our space. This is called I'm Spacious. And then we'll have Amnesia share some wisdom.
All right.
Well, I was going to say, I'm gonna head out and get some rest. But
oh, that's right. You did say that before. So peace, love, and light to you, brother. Have a great rest and have a supreme rising, a supreme grand rising, all right?
I appreciate it. Everybody listening, wish y'all the best. Love and light. Y'all have a good one.
All right, brother. Peace, love, and light to you as well. All right. So this is called I'm Spacious. Life is stages of phases to gain wisdom from the ever-present experiences that are never wasted because they help to awaken out of the manipulated matrix into new powerful paradigms that gives a whole new conscious facelift that telekinetically activates interstellar spaceships. When I touch ground to any grounds, I make space shift into an abundant oases of hydrogen oxygen vibrations. My optimism is contagious when it engages with optimally activated awareness that inspires the most mystical manifestations of human maturation, that electromagnetically electrifies the complacent to pursue their passions with purpose and patience. In the infinite vastness of this existence, we journey through multi-dimensional phases. It's like a life kaleidoscope of experiences, myriads of mazes. Each moment, a lesson of courageous co-creation. No occurrences are in vain, for the wisdom that blooms from every joy and every pain. Time is the lie that keeps on deceiving and misleading, navigating through realms where universal truth needs no proof or reasons. And from the cradle to the grave, a pilgrimage we trace, seeking enlightenment in every sacred space. Awakening from the slumber of a discombobulated dream state, I spray chemtrails of energy, leaving traces behind of my cosmic blaze. And from the darkness I spawn into kinetic comedic soil that produces the most sacred maze. And with my high frequency Atlantean ways, guided by the telepathic whispers of the elders from ancient days, my positive energy always corrects error every day. Toxic energy just fades away as I sunbathe and morph into a caramel copperlicious melanated glaze in this skin school game that I came equipped with gifts to display. No wonder I'm a star child that chose Earth, so I came here to play.
I would love for you to send me that in a DM after if you have a chance, because there was a lot there that was like, oh, yeah, yes, but I'm also better text processor than verbal processor. That was
absolutely nice. Yeah, no problem. I will definitely send that to you. And matter of fact, I'll make sure that I follow you. Hey, peace, love, and light, sis. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. It's your first time here, but I know stranger. Peace, love, and light to you.
Thank you so much. Same to you, brother.
And Supreme Grand Rising. What would you like to share here today on the Network of Awareness?
I would just like to remind people it's important to not only have your affirmations and to cleanse your body in the morning time to start your day, but also to try to set the scene or the energy for the day. I consider myself to be a habitual positive thinker. I choose to stay on the positive side of my thinking. It doesn't mean that I'm afraid of my shadow. I actually embrace my shadow and let my light shine brighter. So I'm not afraid of my shadow. I face my shadow. I know my shadow, and if I have to, I will use my shadow, but I prefer to stay on the positive side of my thinking. And it's mainly because I have the discernment that comes along with the power. A lot of people want the power, but they lack the complete discernment on how to be able to use that power. And it's the main reason why most people aren't able to accumulate a certain level of power, because their level of discernment may not be where it needs to be, or morality may not be where it may need to be. But there's no need to be envious or jealous. There's no need to bring your vibration down. Your job is to be in control of your energy and emotion. Emotions are just to allow for us to configure and understand what's okay with ourselves, with you, and what's not okay. That's one thing for sure, that your emotions is definitely going to tell you whether someone crossed the line or if they did not and you did not feel disrespected at all. But what I hope to employ or to allow for people to see and get is that it's not about what is said to you. It's really about, are you in control of your own emotions? Because if you're aware enough and you have been practicing enough and you have enough self-awareness, then you're able to catch those moments. You're able to catch more things when people are throwing things. And now I don't even hold it against people anymore. Like, I do not get mad or upset at people for being mad at me when I know the walls that I've had to break down to get to where I am. And I know and understand and overstand that a lot of people are stuck where they are and they do have no clue. They do not know how to get out. They don't know how to ask for answers. They don't even know where to start. So
Thank you. Yeah.
I say that to say that it's the small things that matter on a consistent basis. So if you can start your day off on a positive note by listening to more positive energy. It's really about what you consume, not just what you eat, but what you consume with your ears, what you consume with your eyes, and also what you consume with what's running in your subconscious, what's running in the background when you're not really thinking of anything, because the things that we consume become.
Absolutely. Ashe, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
As you can see here, I changed the artwork in the background. I'm going to be flipping through both that I have on here today. But this is a Free Dome series episode. And I want to really focus on unlocking your true potential, harnessing spiritual guidance for a stronger connection to our higher selves, or to your higher self. All right. So you divine feminine energies can stay on here. And I'm just going to read a couple of notes in regards to this topic here. All right. And can y'all hear the music, by the way, lightly in the background?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Is it just the right, because I don't want it to be too loud. Is it just the right frequency?
It's the right frequency. It's not, your voice is a little bit over it, and that's where you want to be. So it's
right.
Great.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to talk about unlocking our true potential, because it's so important that we connect to our higher selves in this age of enlightenment. And unlocking our true potential just doesn't mean about setting goals.
Oh no, it paused for me.
Yeah, hold on. I have to put my charger on.
Cool.
As I mentioned, that it's not just about setting goals or following a specific path. It's a journey of self-discovery, of looking from within. It's a quest to harness the power of spiritual guidance so that we can forge a stronger connection with your higher self. And in a world that's filled with nothing but distractions and a lot of noise, finding connection can seem like a very daunting task, but there is nothing to fear. For within each of us lies the ability to tap in to our inner wisdom. We have a whole library of wisdom called DNA. And in unlocking the doors to our fullest potential, it allows us to acknowledge the essence of our being, of the soul, of the infinite, of that which is and always will be, that which is energy that's in you. And beyond the physical realm, beyond our earthly desires and ambitions, lies the internal essence of who we truly are. It is the essence, it is the divine spark within us that holds the key to unlocking our true potential. And it also allows us to harness that spiritual guidance that our ancestors are always guiding us with and letting us know and guiding us to our higher selves. And we must first recognize and embrace the presence of that higher self and recognize that we are a soul. We are the solution to every single problem that exists here. Every single challenge that we face, we are the solution to it, because that's all that we are. These bodies are temporary. It is the temporary sensation. So everybody just close your eyes for one moment and feel that energy within you. Feel the gentle pulsation of your heart, right? Let's play a heartbeat real quick. Feel that gentle pulsation of your heartbeat, the rhythm of your breath, because it's this moment of the stillness that allows yourself to connect to the essence of your being. When you quiet your mind, you release the chatter of everyday thoughts and you listen to the whispers of the soul, of the higher self. See, spiritual guidance often comes in subtle forms, right? Like the sister was talking about, it's the little things, because everything, whether it's little, big, or whatever you want to perceive it to be, it's all happening for a reason. And that reason is always there to serve you. And we have a fleeting intuition, when we have a gut feeling, when we have a synchronistic encounter, it's all there to serve us. Because in order for us to be connected to our higher self, it requires for us to be open, to be receptive, to trust in the wisdom of the universe that dwells within us. Because many of us are going to always be faced with challenges. That's the world we live in. And when we face with these challenges and uncertainties and doubts, we got to turn inward and seek the guidance from the higher self. We got to trust the answers that we seek that are already within us, waiting to be discovered. See, the spiritual guidance is not just about receiving the answers. It's about aligning with the divine flow of that positive stream of the universe. It's about surrendering to the greater wisdom that guides our journey. And when we harness this guidance, we cultivate a sense of surrender and trust in the unfolding of our lives. And it is a great time to be alive, isn't it? And once we let go of the need to control every single outcome and instead surrender to the natural ebb and flow of our existence and what we are instead of trying to become something, because I never heard the word human becoming. I never heard us being classified as human becomings. We're human beings. It's time for us to be everything that is and always will be. That's within us as well. So trust that the universe has a plan for you and that everything that is unfolding exactly as it should be for you. Because it's in that surrender of the knowing that you find the peace, you find clarity. And it comes from that practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is just an art. That's all it is. It's an art. It's an art of being fully present. It's an art of cultivating awareness of your thoughts. It's an art of cultivating awareness of your feelings and all of the sensations, with the most important factor in it all, without judgment, right? Because so many of us have been so hard on ourselves, beating ourselves down to shit, to nothing, all by our own doing. Like the late, great James Allen wrote, circumstances don't make the man, it reveals it to himself. And we have to stop judging ourselves so harshly and being so critical of ourselves, because that criticism and that judgment of ourselves, as much as it comes from ourselves, it was imposed on us in the world that we live in the moment we came out the womb, the moment that pure child started being toxically conditioned to become something it's not. So when we practice mindfulness and we quiet our minds, we tame that restless chatter of thought and white noise, and we create space for spiritual guidance to emerge, that's when we truly become liberated. And each time and day that we cultivate mindfulness through practices such as your yoga, such as your meditation, such as simply just being one with nature, sitting under a tree, grounding, touching the grass, smelling a flower. If some of you have animals like I do, just spending time hugging my dog, petting my dog. When we spend more time doing, that's when we surrender to that unconditional love and we become one with it. Because truly, that's all that we are. That is the only truth, and everything else besides that is just an illusion. So when we allow ourselves to fully immerse into that moment, letting go of all the worries about the past, which provides just pain, and not worrying about the future that just causes more anxiety. When we're in the present, in that state of the present that always is and always will be, that's when you find that spiritual guidance that flows effortlessly and guides you towards your true potential. Another essential aspect of unlocking true potential is the cultivation of self-love and acceptance. Because too often we become the harsh critics and we judge ourselves, and we're always perceiving our shortcomings and failures as the end all to all, not realizing that those L's that we take, those are just lessons. That's all. Those failures that we experience, they're temporary. They're about as temporary as a blink of an eye, because when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. Our true growth and transformation can only occur when we learn to love and accept ourselves unconditionally. Embrace your flaws. Embrace your imperfections. Embrace every integral part of your body and of self on this journey. Recognize that each experience, whether perceived as a positive or negative, has shaped you into that wonderful, beautiful, magnificent being that you are present today, right now. And don't let anybody, right? Just like we had the person on here trying to impose some narrative of doubt. We don't do doubts here. We don't give benefits of the doubts here. We know what we're experiencing here. That's the only reason I expel that negative energy when it comes on here. I expose toxic energy. I don't support it. I expose it for what it is. So let's recognize that we are unconditional love, and that by loving and accepting ourselves, we create space for true potential to blossom, right? Because as you can see here in the artwork, the sister's shackled, just like many of us. We've been shackled to a prison, to a manipulated prison matrix. And all it does is keeps us distracted from who we are. That is the prison. Once you're distracted, every time you're distracted from yourself, you might as well put handcuffs on you, because that's what you're doing. It's so important. Another key element to all this, another key factor to all this, is that in the pursuit of unlocking our true potential, it is so important to surround ourselves with positive influences. I'll repeat that. It's so important to surround ourselves with positive influences, right? Just like the two sisters that are on here right now. It's so important because it is important to have supportive communities. That's the only way we can grow together. In this unity, consciousness, collaboration, we have to collaborate. We have to work together for the common goal to lift each other up. The common sense of positive energy always corrects error, to have that peace of mind. So seek out teachers, seek out the mentors if you're looking to heal. Seek out like-minded individuals who are going to inspire you, right? Because just like the brother said, you can't stay in environments that don't recognize the true value of who you are. Because when you stay in environments that don't recognize the true value of you, you shrink yourself to the standards that they can tolerate you in. And I'm not here to be tolerated. I know many of you are not here to be tolerated. We're not here to shrink ourselves. We're here to explore ourselves and to fill and really fulfill our true potential as it's always been intended. We're not here to live a lie. We're not here to support the long legacy of lies. And we damn sure ain't here to follow no Pied Piper of propaganda neither. So uplift each other and yourself on your journey. Be an example of what it looks like to have unconditional love and to be unconditional love. Share your experiences. Share your struggles like we do here on the Network of Awareness. Share them within your circles of influence. Share your triumphs with others who understand and support your growth. And the most profound source of spiritual guidance lies within the depths of your heart, right? The heart. Our hearts are the gateway to our soul. It's the seat of our deepest desires and aspirations. So how do we unlock our potential? We must learn to listen to the wisdom of our heart and follow its guidance with unwavering faith. It's one of my favorite words, unwavering. Listen to your heart because it holds the key to your true purpose and passion. And pursue that passion with great purpose. Passion pursues purpose. Follow your heart's desires with the courage and conviction. And this is where ego comes in, because ego is not a bad thing. False ego is, but ego is not. It can be balanced. And when it's properly balanced, that's where you have the courage and conviction to follow through with what your heart desires and trusting that it will lead you to the fulfillment and joy. And I'm going to read just a quick line from the ancient poet Rumi. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Because when we embark on this journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, it reminds us, it lets us remember. We're right now, all of us in this age of enlightenment, we're in the stage of remembrance. We're coming back to our true selves. We're coming back to our true selves by doing the shadow work and healing the inner child that's been so toxically conditioned. So when we remember, we start unlocking our true potential. It's not a particular destination either. It's a lifelong process and journey. When people say, when does shadow work end? Or I tell them it never does. Because for most of us, we've been toxically, socially conditioned pretty much most of our lives. Shit, I just started setting boundaries in my life at the age of 44 years old. I'm only 2 years into setting boundaries. But it requires patience. It requires perseverance. And above all, it requires a deep reverence for the divine spark within you. So with spiritual guidance as our compass and our hearts as the guides, we can't go wrong. We can't be led astray because all we're doing is unlocking the door to our fullest potential and a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. The time is always now. The time is always now. And if you are in an environment, and this is the last thing I'll say before I let the panel speak. If you are in an environment right now that doesn't see the true value of you, that's constantly criticizing and imposing negative energy on you, you must get out, because you can't heal in the very environment that's hurting you. And with that being said, I'm gonna let anybody from the panel, whoever wants to share, feel free to do so. And we got another guest coming up. Hold on. Let's welcome Eternal Tree of Life. Welcome, Eternal Tree of Life. Peace, love, and light to you. And welcome to the Network of Awareness.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness. To the Network of Awareness. To the Network of Awareness.
Eternal Tree of Life. Sometimes people tap the button by accident.
Yeah, I'm listening, and I do resonate with much of what you say, but still in the listening phase.
What was I'm sorry. You said, but what? I didn't understand everything you said. You said you resonate with what I said, and then you said, but, and I couldn't hear you.
But still in the listening phase. Like, I'm still hearing what you have to say, coming to my own terms with that.
Okay. Is that all that you wanted to share here on the Network of Awareness today?
At this moment, yeah. But if you continue your discussion, some other ideas may come to light. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you. And peace, love, and light to you. Thank you for coming on to the Network of Awareness. I think it's your first time, so appreciate you. Is anybody else that would like to share key to unconditional love? Is there anything you want to say?
Welcome to the platform, Eternal. I believe her name is Eternal Tree of Life. Okay. It's wonderful to have you here. It's an open space, so if you have any questions, we understand that you're just listening, so you're trying to put two and two together, you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And what ORRA is saying is that we're here if you need any additional information. He has more extensive information to explain the situations of what's going on, because we've been there. So we understand there's a lot of things that's happening and going on around you that you may not understand. So that's what he's saying. Is there anything that you have any questions about that you're looking to have answered? Or maybe you're seeing some different behaviors, or you're noticing something new. You're feeling like it's a new behavior, but then you're starting to realize, no, this is actually a behavior. And then that's when most people are like, how long should I allow for family and friends to disrespect me until I stand up for myself? And the question for that is, how much poison will it take to kill you? How much poison do you want to take before it actually, unalives you? If you need a little bit more of a male perspective, then that's what he's here for. But if you need a more like a divine feminine aspect, because there's more dynamics to it. So I can definitely understand it, and I can definitely understand where you're coming from, because we currently live in a patriarchy, and there's so many different opinions that is out there around that. Myself, I believe we will be a much faster thriving and growing society if we lived in a more matriarchal system. So that can come down to different opinions, or just to spark an idea or a thought or anything that you may have, or something that you were trying to figure out. It's a safe space. So no question is the only bad question is the question that isn't asked. We want you to be able to ask questions, because that's you being able to gain your power back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to ask the panel, we're going to let the brother Eric speak, and then whoever wants to speak after him. I'm going to take a moment. I have to make a phone call, and I have to call an Uber for someone. So I'm going to do that real quick. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to switch screens here. So the panel, if you could just please continue the conversation if I don't come back in time. So Eric, you're up, brother.
I'm going to go ahead and let you finish your conversation with the Uber, because I wanted to ask you a question. So I'm going to wait until you're back.
Okay. Keys to Unconditional Love, or I forgot her name, Ayana Balance, if you want to talk to, but Keys to Unconditional Love, if you can be my co-host for right now, I appreciate that.
My pleasure. What I'd like to share with you guys is some information. I've been currently studying, which is the language of the God's original language. A lot of the languages are stemmed from. When I first started my spiritual journey, it was 42 laws because of my aunt that allowed for me to be able to go within. I had to clean up all of the spiritual waste because I was previously unaware. And you have to understand too as well, people go through their different journeys and they go through different things for certain reasons. Once I got out of that victim mindset, once I got out of the woe is me mindset, I was able to basically switch it around, switch my mindset. It was like a light bulb turned on. The first thing I started doing when I started learning the 42 laws of my art is I started to write down my thoughts. I started to journal more because I wanted to see what kind of thoughts my inner critic was telling myself. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that your inner critic is usually the adults that raised you. That's the reason why
you paused.
Okay, I'm back. It's important to talk nice to your children, to inspire them, to insert positive affirmations into them, because your voice becomes their inner voice. And so if your words are too harsh, then their inner voice becomes their inner critic.
Oh, this is resonating. So recently talking about how parents who feel they unconditionally love their children, they may still be carrying wounds upon wounds of generational damage. Yeah. And so the way that they love is coming from that wounded place, and it just passes on to the child. The first thing I did was journal. And I remember the first 3 months, it was like super embarrassing, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, my heart is like bursting right now. It's such a good place to start. Yes, 100%.
So tell me an experience when you had that aha moment where you actually could tell the progression after starting the journaling. Tell me about that experience when you finally realized
the first thing that came to mind was this moment where I was listening to music and I was in my room, dark, and I just felt so free. And I had this, I can just express myself safely in here and get to know myself, the depths of myself, and show that love. And I was reparenting myself. I was reliving things, but I was being the loving parent that every child deserves to have. And oh my gosh. So it was this like ecstasy, honestly. It was like, this is what I'm alive for.
Yes.
And it was just the start of it. It was awesome. Yeah.
You're like, now this feels like living.
Yes. And coming from someone.
Like living.
Yeah. Like I was so deep in a mask and misalignment. And now I'm just now like crossing the bridge. Like I crossed to the other side of the bridge within the past, I would say 2 months. There's been a serious integration happening where, yes. And I'm like, I'm ready to stand in my truth fearlessly. And so
unapologetically too, sis.
I could share so much more, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's beautiful. And there's so many moments where you're feeling pain, but really it passing pain. It is a feeling moving through your body, and it's cathartic. It is powerful. It is light. And having to tell people that love me, who have an instinct to comfort me when I cry, I'm like, hey, if I'm crying, it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It was that you were pushing through the pain. Those were growing pains.
Yes. Oh, and one more thing. What you said about cleansing in the morning and like the practices, like I am just now really like I have the self-awareness. I'm reaching the self-mastery, the discipline part of it. And I just remember this brought me back to, I'm only going to keep this energy in here for a second, but one of the guests who had just woken up, gone TikTok, smoking a cigarette, right? And how I've been stuck in that sort of thing too. I get up in the morning, I'm like, I feel like just looking at TikTok, seeing what's up. But I mostly see like these readers that I have a pretty firm connection with, and I don't mind seeing that content first, but I have been protecting my energy in the morning more. I've been sitting with my thoughts more. I've been reflecting on my dreams more. So a lot of stuff's changing, and I'm about to get into pretty awesome physical routines, exercise, and a lot of stuff. I'm very excited.
So in the morning, if you like before you get onto TikTok, if you're noticing what the type of material that's coming come to you in the morning time. When you first wake up, that is your safe haven. You're in your haven, your heaven when you first wake up. So you don't really want to do any talking out loud too much. You're speaking to yourself through thought. You can play some binaural sounds, and maybe perhaps do some meditation in the morning time, and you can meditate while you're taking a shower. So get your mind ready to start taking in information. If you feel like it's a little bit too much or it's trying to come at you too much, get your mind right first. And then while you're getting dressed, after you've gotten out of the shower and done a little bit of meditation and washed your head and washed anything off of you that you may have had on you throughout the night. And then once you're getting ready, you're pampering yourself, and we're getting all our essential oils and our lavenders and everything like that. And then so once you're starting to get dressed, then you can start, or after you get dressed, then you can start allowing for those other energies to have access to you, or allowing for them to come to you like that. You're in control on when you allow for those things to come in. Mm-hmm. Even though it comes to your phone, that is your responsibility. So then it'll start becoming, you do it day after day after day, because it only takes 21 days to form a habit. You work at least 5 days a week, and then whatever you do on Monday through Friday, you're usually going to do it on Saturday and Sunday too. So if you start tomorrow, it'll be a habit before or by the end of the month. And then you can just tweak it how you like to. Make sure you drink water when you first wake up. That's great. That helps for the bowels to go ahead and start moving. And if you want to make your breakfast and start making smoothies in the morning time, that's even something else that you want or need, or make it a ritual that helps you to get to that vibration that you want to hold for throughout the day.
I'm ready to go into my notes and just plan out, because I'm seeing, this morning I had a really crazy fucking amazing lucid dream. I could get into a little bit of it, but the point is, when I had woken up, I felt I'm staying in this energy. And I had these little habits coming up. Like, I wanted to check my Discord app and see if my boyfriend had responded to anything like that. And I had such a for my energy, though, that I was like, no, I don't.
Right.
Yeah. And I love that.
Energy back. Listen, that's why I said I'm a habitual positive thinker, and I listen to, you're right, Matthew 419 Donald, a 432 hertz frequency. It does help the mind. And so, I'm sorry, that's my fur baby. Hold on. Shh. I'm on the phone. Hold on. Okay. The 430 hertz frequency. And it's a guy named, they're music producers. Their name is Chris N. Teeb. And they produce, all the music that they produce is produced on the 432 hertz frequency. They have a manifestation guide that's listed on YouTube. So if you like some music to listen to in the morning time to help you clear any energies, or when your mind starts to wander, or when you start having those intrusive thoughts, if you don't feel like or have the time to journal, just listen to music, because we don't chase, we attract. We are women. Yes. We are powerful. We are enough. We are worthy. Stay in your divine feminine energy, and they will come to you. If he does not come to you, he is not meant for you, because when you stay in your divine feminine energy, you're going to automatically attract your soulmate like a magnet. And that's who you're really going to want to go full out for. It's not going to be like, oh, I'd like to be able to do this, or I'd like to be able to do that. It's going to be, I want to do this. I'm going to do that.
Hearing you talk and the power of your feminine energy is just like in my brain.
Exactly.
There's so much, because I've definitely neglected myself quite a bit in my life. And
kiss on that little girl. Kiss on that little girl. You were right. You've been parenting her. You've been the best parent to her that you could have possibly had. And that is the very best place to start. Now start loving on her. Start pampering her. And that creative goddess is just going to come up, and she's going to start doing this and doing that. Start creating little meals. Start doing little healthy things for yourself. And that divine feminine energy is going to be like, yeah, let me throw some little glitter on you. Ooh, yes. And then the sun is just, when you go into the sun, it's going to be like, yes, glitter, sun rays. Please.
Oh my gosh. I'm remembering how recently with my inner child, there was this moment in the mirror where I was like, oh, I'm in the body I always wanted to be in.
Yes. And then
I can do whatever I want with it.
Like, start telling yourself, be like, how did I get so gorgeous?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Like, girl, you're glowing. I'm like fanning I'm like, oh man, the power of this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you. I love you. Oh my God, you're so powerful. Okay. All right.
Yes,
Coming back down, chilling. Honestly, I've never had what am I looking for? The fucking blessing to encounter such divine feminine energy and talking to me directly. I've been around a lot of wounded energy and kind of fought to get here kind of thing. Not fought, but I've just flowed and faced the challenges. Yeah.
And it's okay to cry.
Oh,
Crying is releasing and it's empowering. And it just may be your superpower.
When we cry, that is the tear, that's the rain that falls from the heavens and falls down onto the soil and replenishes the soil. Mm-hmm. It's always good to cry. It brings about great healing, and it also decalcifies the pineal gland as well.
Absolutely. Break up that calcified ox, girl. Break it open and you'll be able to see.
By the way, I want to make sure that the music that's playing in the background is at the right frequency. Is it all right?
It's a good volume.
Okay.
I am going to go integrate some information, and I just want to say I am honored to have gotten to be in this space tonight. I had no idea when I clicked in and I heard what I heard right off the bat. I was like, I don't know what I'm going into, but I'm feeling called to go in. This was awesome. So I really appreciate all of you, and I love everyone. This is great. So,
well, welcome to the Network of Awareness, and you're always welcome to come back here and share and be part of this Unity Consciousness collaboration that we always do here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. There's no coincidences. Things happen for a reason.
All right. Have a good night, all of you. Or good day.
I'll drop you, all right? I'll drop you from the panel. Supreme Grand Rising to you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay, Eternal. I know you've been somewhat quiet there, but have you been processing anything? Anything you want to share up to this point? Eternal Tree?
It all makes sense. But I don't know, it's just a perspective vision that has hit me, and there's many other perspectives that come with that.
Okay. And what's the one that hits you?
Like wonderfully, happiness, yellow.
Nice. That's the aura that I usually resonate on, is a golden yellowish white light. And that is my favorite color. That's good that you're feeling that, as you should, because the heart is not going to ever lead you astray, and neither is your higher self. So you should feel happy. You should feel joy, contentment. Where you at right now, here in the present.
Hey, Eternal. Have you been able to journal consistently so you can get some of those thoughts out? I believe it will help you to be able to express some of the emotions that you are feeling, because a lot of people don't understand that us as women, we have to be able to navigate through our emotions because we are the heart of the home. That's the reason why you hear men saying, happy wife, happy life. I know you're going to want to have a family one day and to meet your soulmate and you guys live happily ever after. That's going to be depending upon your heart posture. It only takes a little step at a time. No one's asking you to go faster than what your pace is. Your pace is your pace. The journaling will allow for you to decipher your thoughts from the thoughts that's been projected from us. So that's the reason why we encourage journaling so much. And you just heard the young lady that just got on the phone. She felt so free from it.
Sis, somebody was asking what was the name of the 42 Laws book that you had mentioned?
The 42 Laws of Ma'at. Now, there also is a book called Coming to the Light. I believe it's called Coming to the Light Through the Dark. I'm learning about that book there, but I did have a spiritual guide that taught me about the 42 laws of Maya. And there were several books. One book that I got, that I studied, was the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the complete papyrus of Anu.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how they twisted it up with the 10 Commandments?
Yeah.
And they said,
Right.
I have, what is it? Thou shalt not kill, when in the Book of the Dead it says, I have not killed.
It's the little things that stick out, right?
Because we've been under a long legacy of lies.
Right.
And it's time to expose the lies for what they are so that we can better understand the truth. Because so many of our brothers and sisters don't know that they're being lied to. So they think that the lie is the truth. They think that they've accepted the lie as the truth and the truth as the lie.
Everything was backwards. And a lot of people don't understand that. They feel that they're not happy, but it's gotten to a point like some people would be offended when you tell them. I just made a suggestion. If you see that the things that you've been doing and how your belief system has been going, yeah, you'll get some rewards, but it's nothing to really allow for you to lift you out of the situation. Do you not think that maybe your belief system may need to be really evaluated, and maybe you need to go back and answer those questions that you asked when you were a little kid or when you were first being told about this religion construct, and try to answer those questions. Answer those questions. Because that's a real problem that a lot of people have. They have a lot of unanswered questions, but they were asked to just don't ask the questions. Hold on to what you got. Be calm. Hold on to that. Survive not in lack. And people aren't happy. And so when they see somebody that's outside of religion, it triggers them, because on some level deep down, they want to be as free as you. Look. Okay. You're on the patio now. I gave you too many chances. No. Okay, so that's why I understand. It's not really an attack on me. They're really upset because they're wanting what I have, but they don't know how to get to it. And a lot of people they tie their identities to their religion. If you question their religion, then initially you're questioning their identity. And that's what I can be grateful and thankful of, is that my sexual identity was separate from my religious identity. So maybe it's that process that needs to happen first. Find out who you are. I understand your connection with Source and God, and we're all children of God, as long as we're born naturally.
That's the thing, is that religion is there to divide. It's not only there to divide us amongst each other, but it's also there to divide you within yourself, to keep you separate from your higher self, from the God in you. As much as they talk about having a relationship with God, it's really a manipulation of keeping you separate from the God in you and making you think that it's something you have to pray to outside of yourself, something that's going to come later. They promote long suffering. We didn't come here to suffer. We didn't come here to suffer. We didn't come here to curse ourselves. That curse was projected onto us, and we just accepted it because we embraced it, because it was manipulated and passed down from generation to generation. That's why a lot of us have come here to break the generational curses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're sent to break the curse, I don't think people understand how tough of a skin you must have in order to be that curse breaker. You have to go through some things. And so the idea of thinking that things are happening to you and all these people and loved ones and friends are doing things to you, rather than looking at it from a different point of view of, oh, wait a minute, this is not happening to me. This is happening for me to grow through. You got to go through it sometimes to grow through it. And when you come out, you're going to shed a skin and you're going to be somebody different on the other side. And people who are satisfied in the image that they created for themselves, or the life or the mask that they have created for everyone to believe who they are, if you're close to them and you're making the changes that they could have made but did not make, then they're going to be upset with you, because now you're challenging the world that they know to be true. whether they're happy in it or not. So I had to learn that I can want to save someone. I cannot want to save someone more than they want to save themselves.
Facts. Let's give you a sound of the trumpets for that one. It's no different than a drug addict who wants rehabilitation, but they can't actually get the rehab until they made a conscious decision to want to give up the addiction.
Exactly. Now, that can come to anything, and that can even come to food. But a lot of people don't understand that food is one of the biggest addictions other than greed. And you can still be greedy with food. And that still can apply to money as well, because people chase money. But just like when you chase after someone that you want to be interested in you, that you're way more interested in than they are in you, what do? It runs away. You may be able to catch some of it. You may be able to catch its skirt tail. Or you may be able to catch the back of its shirt, its tail of his shirt. But you're never going to be able to hold on to it. And even if you do get it, then what? Then you're going to get there and be like, something's missing. So now you see that money isn't it. Now I see that money isn't it. I am the money. Money needed me. Money is attracted to me. Money can't get enough of me. I love money.
Yeah, money. One of my affirmations is, I'm so happy and grateful now that money flows to me with ease.
There you go. Money flows to me easily and numerous and multiple streams of income from several different ways, infinitely to me with ease.
By the way, peace be unto you, Sister Wild Rose, and Supreme Grand Rising to you as well. Thanks to everybody. I see you, Sabor. Peace, love, and light, sis. Thanks to all the people that have been coming in here, sharing their infinite light and wisdom. Let's go to the brother Eric. Eric, you said you had a question for me, right?
You mentioned how you started loving yourself about 2 years ago, and that's when I started
setting boundaries 2 years ago at 44 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I started loving myself too. And I just wanted, you know how you talk about how this is all unfolding for you. I feel like the internal battle that you deal with and overcoming that internal battle helps other people come over their internal battles. We're all in unity consciousness. So I was wondering if there's more people in the chat who started loving themselves around that same time. I wonder if we're all connected in that way or if it's all sporadic. I didn't really know.
Absolutely. I agree. Just like for you, we are all connected. We are all one. That's how you know who's the real people and who's the NPCs.
Yeah, for sure.
It may not happen exactly at the same time, but around between a 2 to 5 year period before, during, and after. Yeah, you can expect that. So it's pretty much the same as looking at it like by generation. You see how the generations is anywhere from 12 to 15 year period?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like that, but everybody coming in is a very long line, and it's going to take the person at the front of the line is going to go through the door first before the person that's closer to the end, but we all got in line at the same time.
Yeah.
We only can go either at one at a time. Okay, you, boom, check list, boom, they answered the call. Okay, you, oh, yeah, you did answer the call. Nice to see you. Come on. And you, okay.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to touch on was trauma and how it doesn't always have to come from other people. Like a lot of people, they were like either physically abused or emotionally abused by family or friends. And that just wasn't the case for me. Mine, I'm just going to be honest with you. When I went to lose my virginity, I found out I had erectile dysfunction. And it really, I got myself in such good shape and was hoping that it would go away. And when it didn't go away, it was the catalyst for my depression and downfall. Because I was getting A's and B's in college. And by my junior year of college, I just gave up on life at that point because I couldn't find love. And then I got into drug addiction, drug dealing, flunked out of school. And then I just went into a really bad depression. And I never thought I was going to be able to overcome that. And I quit talking to girls altogether after college. And by the grace of God, a girl that I knew from college reached out to me, in 2022. And it happened to work then after all those years because I've been out of college since 2016.
You see, that goes to show it may not have been that you had the erectile dysfunction. Maybe you just had to be someone that was really for you. That's the whole point of having a soulmate. Because they're going to do what no one else can do. They're going to ignite what nobody else can ignite. They're going to lift up what couldn't be lifted.
The thing about this girl is she's not my soulmate, but she got me out of my depression. So it was a stepping stone to my becoming happy. And now I'm happy with myself, and things have just really started to come into place in my life. And I really just couldn't be more grateful for this guiding God, divine, whatever you want to call it, the universe that's really guiding me through my life right now. It's really,
Exactly. But I don't want you to be confused on anything, because not only does soulmates do that, but also twin flames. So as long as it's someone that you're supposed to be with, that did that. She was supposed to be in your past. You were supposed to deal with her. Imagine if you made the decision to not deal with her, you'd still be dealing with that situation.
Yeah, and now I have a son with that girl, and it's a tough situation, but I'm just happy I'm on the path I'm on right now, because I never thought I would ever be able to find love. And now that I know that I'm healing myself, the right person's going to come into my life at the right time. At some point, as long as I keep working on myself and take step by step and, better myself every day, at some point I'm going to be to a standard where I'll meet my soulmate.
Okay. Yeah. But also, Eric, I'm so proud of you. I just want to say thank you so much. You're showing so much bravery for being able to come up on this kind of platform and be able to share that type of information.
Yes. I just wanted to do that because I know people are battling their own internal battles, and I just want to know there's other people that struggle too with various aspects of life, and just know you got a shoulder to cry on in this chat. We're all empaths, and we're all here to heal the world, and we start by healing each other, and that'll radiate out into the world.
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to mention too, when it comes to erectile dysfunction, especially us men that are in our 40s and 50s, is to keep in mind that a lot of times the reason why that happens is the foods that we're putting in our body that do not give the proper nutrition to the testosterone that we have to keep balanced in our bodies. So a lot of times we reduce in testosterone, and a lot of the GMO foods that we consume that are processed do that to us. So make sure that you're putting in a high level of alkaline foods, especially when it comes to cucumbers. If you keep cucumbers in your diet, your pee-pee is going to be nice and strong.
It's working now, and
good.
There's some other multivitamins.
It was all mental because I have Asperger's, and so it was a high anxiety thing, and I've grown out of that. So that's what it was back then. But it really destroyed me to a level where I could hardly function, and I didn't want to do anything because I just thought there was no hope for the future. And then it's weird how God just miraculously makes things work out eventually. It truly is a great force.
So
that's
Eric,
another reason why it's so important to love yourself too, because just loving yourself can make a major difference in how your body operates. Go ahead.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was about to say too. What you want to do is, because you've had some heartbreak with being intimate with women. So what I would like for you to do for your sake and for your lady's sake is to work on forgiving those women that hurt you emotionally, mentally, and or spiritually. You have to give that all up. You have to, if you want love in your life, you want to build a family, all that kind of stuff can be directed to you having a problem, the same problem down the road, and you're not going to understand why. Fix your heart posture. Fix your heart. Forgive those women, because if you do not forgive them, you will not be able to fully open up and love a woman. And that's what we're about. You have to be able to open up to us. And whatever you give us, we're going to multiply. So you're going to be able to tell what you've been putting into her by what she gives back to you.
Yep, I appreciate the comments. That's all I had to say, so you can take me off the panel. I thought
you had a question.
Well, I asked you the question first. The question was, when I healed myself in around 2022, my question was, is that kind of, you said you got healed around, you loved yourself around that time too. I didn't know if more people started loving themselves around that same time, is part of the unity conscious where I heal myself so others heal themselves at the same time.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, it was like around the same time.
I think a lot of the healing, a lot of us have been going through healing for a long time. And I think the major great awakening to that healing collectively and this unity consciousness happened in 2020. And the reason being because when we all got locked down in March, especially here, and but this happened all around the world. But when we got locked down here in the United Shenanigans of America, I saw how people had time to think for themselves. It was no longer being distracted from the self because the distractions weren't there no more, right? They got taken away, all of it. It was like, stay inside your house, okay? Or you can come outside your house, but you can't go to work. There's nothing going on, right? People had to cook and just be with their families and spend time, and they got a lot of time to spend by themselves. And when they got time to spend by themselves, the actual effect that it was supposed to have backfired. Now, granted, there was a lot of people who failed the spiritual IQ test during that time, but there were also many that didn't. And there was many of us that actually started looking from within and started loving ourselves and started realizing, hey, I'm not living an authentic life. I'm not the author of my story. Maybe it's time that I pick up the pen and pencil and start writing into my book of life and really start authoring my life in where I have control of where I want my reality to be, instead of me serving a reality that is not coming from my own thoughts. It's coming from somewhere else that I'm just feeding it energy to. And once that happened, a lot of people started awakening. All right. And then we got to also realize that during that time that there was a spiritual warfare going on, and the target and the prey was us. And we started identifying who are the predators preying on us. And when we started doing that, we started to realize things. And then when it transitioned into 2021, that's when they started introducing the science appliance. And the science appliance was literally a weapon for Depop. And I have to use my words very cryptically, right? But that was a Depop agenda. And because of that, a lot of people started waking up, was like, oh, they really trying to come at me. They really trying to extinguish my light. They're really trying to take me out of here, physically at least. And once people woke up to that reality, it was a wrap. A lot of us was like, see, somebody like me, I was actually excited for that day to come. I was excited for what they were introducing, because I was like, finally, they're going to wake up, and now they'll be able to receive the information that I've been providing. Because a lot of my family that thought I was the conspiracy theorist and the whack job and all of this, they started listening. They were still suffering from cognitive dissonance, of course, but they started listening. They was like, oh shit, maybe he's onto something here, because now I'm experiencing it. And sometimes people, they wake up when it's too late, but then when you think about time, it's never too late because it's always in the now. But a lot of people started actually believing that there is a spiritual warfare going on and that we are the targets. And people started just waking up in so many different ways. And one of the beautiful ways that I've seen it happen, and it triggered me too, because in 2020 is when I let go of, I was a marketing director for a insurance company, for a supplemental and life insurance company. And I was in charge of a pretty significant region and had a pretty significant income. At least it's not the average income here in the US. And I let it all go because I had to pursue purpose. I had to pursue that divine purpose that's always been there, that I've been procrastinating on and half-assing. But when 2020 came in January, I was like, nah, no more half-assing. Like, I got to be one with this, right? This is all that I do, and this is what I'm going to do. And then it just went from one podcast to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Then we got back on radio. Now we got a radio show on a radio station, and many other things that have happened since then. And even though I may not be making $250,000 anymore, or even be in a 6-figure income bracket, I have everything I need. There's nothing that I want or need that I don't have, right? It's as long as I stay on this course of healing and loving myself and spreading that love with everybody and being a collaborator within this unity consciousness, I'm good. Hey, peace, love, and light to all the people coming in. You're now tuned into the Network of Awareness. And we're just doing this unity consciousness collaboration here.
You are now tuned in.
Let's welcome the next guest up here. Tina Solan. Peace, love, and light to you, sis.
And rising, everyone. I just want to share my story with you guys. In around 2014 area, I was on drugs, hardcore. And I remember, because I wasn't praying to God or anything like that, because I didn't believe in God. But ever since my brother passed away, he was the one that I prayed to. So I remember being on drugs in front of the liquor store, crying, please give me a sign that this is not supposed to be the path I'm on. And I remember everything just going quiet, like if you muted the world. And I remember like a big bright light like flashed, and I turned to the side to see where the light came from. And there was like a shadow figure, and I was standing in the spot where my brother got shot before he got killed. I seen a shadow figure, and then I got super heavy and I got super sleepy. So I went to sleep where he got shot at. That's exactly where I went to sleep. The next day I went to jail. And then I started following myself, finding myself in jail. And now I'm here. I started following the spirit. At first I started off with Buddhism, and then I felt I don't want to follow a path like Buddhism, Christianity, or anything like that. So then I started looking more into like spirituality, and I feel like there's more of a connection with me there than with any other organized religion, because any other organized religion, I feel like I'm following rules. I don't want to feel like I'm following rules. I want to feel like I have to do right by humanity to get into the ether or to the next realm or to like a better realm. I feel like whatever good I do here is going to reflect on my soul when I die.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing that story. You're more powerful than you think you are. Congratulations. You made it. A lot of people don't make it. Okay. And you have shed the skin of that old person. You are no longer that person. You have a completely different identity. So that new identity deserves new characters, new hobbies, positive affirmations, and also knowledge. So thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing your story. And if no one's told you it, I love you. And we're looking for you to level up and upgrade as many times as you like.
Thank you. I love that. I love you too. Yeah, I'm definitely upgrading. I was telling ORRA yesterday on the live last night that I cut my immediate family off, like my parents and my siblings, because they're not serving my higher purpose. They're not. All they're doing is bringing toxicity. I keep trying to show them the way. Hey, we don't always have to be negative. We don't always have to be in a bad mood. We don't always have to be fighting with each other. We could enjoy each other. We could enjoy a nice conversation. Hey, how are the kids doing? But nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants to be on a low vibration. They all want to be arguing and fighting all the time. And I don't need that for me and my kids. Me and my kids like playing Genshin Impact. We like freaking being in the yard. Like I have a 13-year-old. I have an 11-year-old. I have a 2-year-old, and I have an 8-month-old. Like we enjoy our little world. We enjoy our little bubble. And my girls, once they see that we go to a botanica, they're like, oh, we're going to the witchy store, because like I'm getting them into the spiritual realm with me. That way I can have my own little coven right here with me, and we can be practitioners together, all of us, all 6 of us in this house.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it's just such a blessing. Also, what I'd like for you to do, we need to learn more about what the definition of a woman is. And I enjoy going to class with Kimi Got Bars. And so she does talk. You can check her page out. It's Kimi as in comedic, so Kemi. Got G-O-T-R's, J-R-S, I believe. If it's not an S, it may be a Z, but excuse me. Beautiful, melanated, honorable Kimmy.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for the gifts, everybody.
Check out her page, and so that way you can see a couple of things. And if you happen to would like to catch a couple of lives, then definitely. But the whole point is to make sure that we're empowering our women with knowledge. And so if we're more aware of who we are, so we can help and love others properly, our love posture can be better. And that's the best way to get closer with God. The best and fastest way to get and stay closest with God is fixing your heart posture with Him and being able to love everyone else, definitely.
Can you please put the person to follow in the chat? That way I can copy it and put it in my search bar.
Let's welcome real quick the next guest on the panel that came up here. Let's welcome Maya Baby to the Network of Awareness.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness. To the Network of Awareness.
Hey, peace, love, and light, Maya Baby, Supreme Grand Rising.
Peace, love, and light, Grand Rising. How is everybody doing this morning?
Very well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I had my awakening in 2019, and I think it's just been an amazing experience. being able to be so much loved, having the love in my heart and in my life is amazing of God.
Absolutely. Isn't the best feeling?
It is.
And to know.
How did you come into that awareness, though? What exactly was the experience that brought you there?
It's been over my whole lifetime. My very first experience was when I was 9 years old. My mom tried to end her life, and I found her. And when they took her away in the ambulance and I was left alone, I was 9 years old, and I grabbed my Bible and I went down and I kneeled down and I just prayed to God. And I told him that I would be his servant if he would let my mom live. And so I started from that day forward, and I was trying to find a religion. And my mom allowed me to go to different religions, and I could never find one that resonated completely with me. There was always something about each one that just didn't feel right. And so I've been on this journey for a very long time. And then I came to a realization that I did not need to have a church to worship God. And I didn't need those things. I just needed nature.
So you do meditate in nature, correct?
That is correct.
Wonderful. What is that? Does that allow for you to get any uploads or get any questions for that? Or do you have?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I get uploads constantly, or down. Yeah. However you want to call it, and guidance, from my spiritual team. I'm able to talk with them, and it's the most amazing experience to be so connected to the divine, and to be able to talk about it is, and once I hit my rock bottom in 2019, I didn't think I was going to recover from that. And I did. I recovered, and I have only God to thank for that. He is the only one that was in my corner through that whole experience. None of my family members, they wanted to see me down. When I finally came out of it, they turned their backs on me. They weren't very supportive of me being so open about my connection with the divine and with God being the same. At this point, I am with my true family, my soul family. And I'm so happy. I haven't been this happy in my entire life.
Good. That's usually how it feels. Because we were made God's, however you want to call it, the chosen ones or God's children. We're the ones that are built for this. We're built like this. You weren't built like that, sis. You was built for that. And as soon as we get past someone is doing something to me, but no, it could be that God is allowing for this to be done for you.
Yes.
Because you actually have a purpose and a mission.
Yep. And my purpose is unconditional love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope you spread it around faster than COVID-19.
I've been doing that mission on TikTok. I've been doing it on Facebook. I've been doing it everywhere I go, and I can see the difference in my community.
Yes, it's brighter over there, isn't it?
So much nicer, especially riding the buses now. Before, it just felt the air was so thick and you couldn't breathe.
Someone had to raise. Did you know that one positive person is equivalent to 1,000 negative people? So if you raise your vibration up, everyone, 1,000 people within, I would say, maybe like a 10 or 5, 10, maybe 15 mile radius is benefiting from that. That's why it's important for us to raise our vibration and keep our vibration there. It's the reason why they don't want us to keep our vibration there, because we're outshining the minions and the little dark entities. Because then when you turn that light on,
they run.
They scatter like roaches, right?
Every single time I get on the bus. And
that's how royal you are. That's how royal it is. They literally, the red carpet, it gets rolled out for me everywhere I go. I am recognized, I am loved, I am respected, I wake up, I'm gifted with money.
Yep. I believe that, because that's happening to me. And it's just the most amazing experience. And being able to I am so honored being one of God's children, and being in the awareness that I have and being awakened is the biggest honor I think any of us have.
Absolutely. I got it. It is an honor. And it is an honor. stay grateful because just like anyone else, I'm still human. I still have to have a human experience. So I have to check myself.
Right.
Exactly. There are times where I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just not going to engage in certain behaviors with people. And I will just walk away and they'll just look at me like, who is this person? She's changed so much.
Yep. When we self-examine with unconditional love, we can correct ourselves much better than we do when we are very critical of ourselves and our actions.
Yep.
No, that's the only thing I know. So that's why I just believe in unconditional love rather than tough love. Or if I show tough love, if I have to show tough love, it's going to be right direct to you, and you're definitely going to be able to pick up on the love. Oh, yes. Real hot. That's tough love. Hot love.
Hot love. I like that one. Hot love.
All right, let's welcome to the panel real quick. Welcome to the Network of Awareness, brother. Peace, love, and light to you, and Supreme Grand Rising. I do hear a little bit of background, like white noise static in the background. It's like a little bit of floor noise.
Keep on listening, and when I get on my break, I'll try to go jump back and tell my little journey.
Yeah, definitely do that. So that way we can all hear you, because the floor noise is making you sound muffled. I only say that because I'm an audio engineer, so I'm very sensitive to these sounds. All right.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you come back. All right. I'm going to drop you down for now and just request to come back up when you're on your break.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Y'all can continue if y'all want to keep talking. I like what you Divine Feminine Energies were sharing, so if you can continue on. And of course, I changed the artwork for all those that are watching and listening. This is actually a Freedom Dome series that you're listening to on the Network of Awareness. And just like the other artwork, this is all about unlocking your true potential and harnessing your spiritual guidance for a stronger connection to your higher self. And obviously, these two women here have definitely been doing that, and that's what they've been talking about. Maya Baby talked about connecting with her spiritual family, her guides, and keeping her circle strong with the guidance of her higher self and the guides that guide her to her higher self, along with keys to unconditional love. And now Tina too. So go ahead, continue, ladies, and I'm just going to take a quick break while y'all keep the flow going, and let me put on another instrumental real quick.
Okay, since ORRA is taking a break, this question is for the other ladies that are in the panel. Michelle wants to know what Grand Rising is. Not only Michelle, I want to know too. I know it's like another form of saying good morning, but like why? Like why do we use it? Not why in a bad way, but I want to be educated on that.
Okay. It really comes down to the etymology of the word.
And I'll come back and give my answer, by the way. Go ahead, Keaton.
Okay. So it comes down to the etymology of the words that we use. The English language is a tricky language. I usually use to throw spells, but we have several words with different meanings, but they look and sound and are spelled the same. So when you take the word morning, what does morning usually mean? Morning means like after someone has been unalive, and after you bury them, you're mourning them. So when you wake up in the morning, are you mourning? Is it a good morning? So you're happy that you're sad that you woke up to live life? No, it is a great rising. I rise in the morning. And at night, it's great set because what happens to the sun in the evening? It's set. So instead of saying good morning, I say grand rising because it's a celebration. I'm not sad. I'm not mourning anything. I'm alive. Nothing is dead. Everything is moving. Everything is working out for me more and more. So I start my day with it. It's all the words that you use. And just because someone says good morning to you in a nice tone or voice, their intention behind it may be malice. So I do not acknowledge that at all. And then also the same with being blessed. So if someone says to me, oh, you be blessed. Let's look at the etymology of bless, which is basically be less. And if you're adding an ED, you want me to be lessened. You want me to be broken down? That's not okay with me. I wouldn't say that to you. I'd rather say be moreful. Just be. Because that's what's going to allow for you to have happiness. And that's a high vibration. really more about being more mindful of the words that you choose. You can speak yourself into a situation. If you're steady saying bad things are going to happen, if you're steady talking about past things, or you steady worried about future things, I say present mode. I'm mindful of the words I choose that I let come out of my mouth, because my tongue is a double-edged sword. It can win for me or it can lose for me.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's a lot of gems right there being shared. I'll give you a simple answer. I'll keep it short and simple. I say Supreme Grand Rising because reason why I say Supreme is because it's my way of saying I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to awaken. And I personally think that when we are asleep, we're actually awake. And when we wake up, we're actually in the dream. We're in the dream state. And I just say Supreme Grand Rising to this dream state that's constantly trying to discombobulate my way of thinking. And also, I don't like to say good morning anymore because I don't want to be saying good death to people, right? So it's all about the etymology. And I want to make sure that the words that I'm speaking from the altar, being the tongue, is that it's coming at the most highest vibration throughout the day, every single moment of the day. And the more that I speak high vibrational words with the intention on what they actually mean, the better off I'll be in resonating within that frequency. Because if I keep saying, hey, let's say if I say good morning 10 times throughout my day with 10 different people that I've said that to, that's 10 different times that I'm speaking death to the day from my tongue. And I'm unconsciously aware of it, which is part of the manipulation that we go through. Is that I always say that the United Shenanigans of America is the only place where you can actually enslave yourself, and you have the freedom to do that and be completely unaware of it. So that's why I don't use the word good morning, and many other words I don't use. Even if you knew what careful means, when we tell people be careful, that means we're telling them to be anxious, to be worried, to be woeful. It's a negative vibration. This old English language that we now consider modern English, it is very self-destructive. A lot of language is. And that's why we got to make sure that the words we're speaking to ourselves and to each other is high vibrational words, and words that are really loving words instead of venomous words or words that are self-destructive and detrimental to our well-being. I know I gave you a long-winded answer now. I said I was going to keep it simple, but...
Right, you see how difficult it was to make that a little very simple. And then you started talking, you're like, oh no, and then something else, and then say this too.
Yeah. Does that help out though, Tina?
Yeah. Thank you guys. I was having my husband listen right now. I was like, look what they're saying. Look what they're saying.
Yeah, we're part of a collective consciousness that's constantly being manipulated to go against itself through us. That's why we gotta, become the change that we want to see in the world. People like, oh, the world's going to be the way it is. The more you say that, the more it is. I have a mother, my family's, we tell Arawak. So I have a mother that as much as she's aware of spirituality, she's like speaking negative things throughout the whole entire day. And then the more she gets that, the more she complains about it. And I'm like, you got to choose your words carefully, because all you keep speaking into existence is that anxiety. Right. Because a lot of us suffer from anxiety because we're too worried about the future, not being present in the now. Mm-hmm. And that's why most of us are twisted up in these families, Tina. You know how you say your family was doing the bochinche thing? My family does the same thing. I've separated from myself from my family from many of my family members back in 2019. And when I actually moved to Florida, where most of my family is, besides Puerto Rico, and I moved from New York because I grew up in New York City in the Bronx, and I moved out here about a little over 7 years ago. Most of my immediate family all lives here. So I was away from my immediate family that had moved here a long time ago for a long time. So I thought that by being around them and other extended family members that it was going to be some kumbaya moments. Little did I know, it was actually be the opposite, because actually when I lived in New York, I've spent more time with my family out here when I lived over there. And now that I live here, I barely see them, if not, and I haven't seen certain family members since 2019 in person. And I haven't even spoken to them on the phone. Why? Because I play this saying a lot, and I'll play it real quick for you. Because this is my anthem for the year. This saying right here from the brother. I'm gonna play it real quick. This is my modus operandi right now.
You say your modus operandi?
Yeah, this is how I function. I hear this so much as a mantra in my head that I don't even have to say it no more. It's just a part of me now. It's a part of my spirit. It's connected into my spine. It's in my DNA. All right.
Okay.
You cannot stay in environments where people don't know the true value of you. If you stay in environments where people don't recognize the value of you, you will shrink your gift to the size of what they can stand. And that's what causes anxiety and depression and stress, because you have had to shrink into a form where people can tolerate you. I refuse to be small because you think small. Shrinking my vision because you can't catch up. You either better roll with me or you gonna get rolled over.
That's the reason why many of us have separated ourselves from family. It's not because we don't love them. We still love them unconditionally. I know I do. But I can't shrink myself to their standard of living, because most of their standard of living or wanting to accept the way I'm not accepting the way I'm living is because I'm not living the status quo life.
Right.
I don't go by the agenda of the matrix and the archons and all of the social constructs that have been formed in order to keep me in a mindset where I'm just deaf, dumb, and blind. So I'm not trying to just eat, sleep, entertain, I said it backwards, eat, entertain, and then sleep and go through this repetitive cycle, which is to me is insanity. So once I had to break off from that and not be the standard traditional thought processes like my family is, where it's like, oh, you got to get a good job, you got to get a college degree, got to get that high school diploma. And I've dispelled all that bullshit because I don't have a college degree. I never graduated from high school. I actually went to sell drugs. I had a scholarship in high school. I was supposed to go to Harvard. I was supposed to go to Georgetown. This was my prospects. But you know what? I didn't go that path. But even to this day, I'm one of the only ones, if not the only one in the family that doesn't have any of those things and still was accomplishing great things in life. Still got jobs where you needed a 4 to 6 year degree and still got the job with no high school diploma. And when I showed that through my walk, it's like a little bit of the cognitive dissonance in my family breaks. Just a little bit goes away, but there's still a lot left. And I just let them know, yo, I'm not about this bochinche. I'm not about bringing each other down and talking shit when somebody's not around. And then when they are around, we act like all smiley, but then we're talking shit about each other. And then we're comparing ourselves to each other by what we got and what we don't got, who's married. And then the funny part is that everybody that is married for the most part is not even in a happy marriage. You know?
Right.
So I had to do away with even being, not that I was caught up in it, but even subjecting myself to it, which is what the brother was saying. It's like they couldn't appreciate or know the true value of what I know and what I'm showing without there being some type of criticism. Mm-hmm. And I got tired of it. I grew up in an environment like that. I grew up with a narcissistic mother that I could never satisfy. Nothing I ever did was good enough. And I had a stepfather the same way. So I share all that because this is stuff I've shared throughout my platform and on my podcasts and radio shows, is that you cannot, like the brother said, you cannot allow yourself to be in environments where people don't recognize the true value of you. And a lot of times those individuals are usually the ones closest to you. But see, a lot of them are looking at you in a light that is from like 10, 15, 20 years ago, Tina. I bet a lot of your family is still looking at you as the person that was on the drugs, but they're not seeing the person that's on the drugs right now, but in their mind they are, because they still stuck stuck there. They're not appreciating the true value of who you are now. And that's why we have to separate ourselves from our family for the most part. If that's how they're behaving, if they're behaving in a manner that is not conducive to the vibration and frequency we're operating on, you got to let them go. And you got to let them go with love. And you got to create those boundaries that are not walls. They're more like doors that we open up with rules and conditions to how we operate in each other's homes. And if they can't respect how your home is, how you keeping your home together and how your home functions, then they can't enter. Plain and simple. And I'll digress for somebody else to talk because I could go on and on about this. But before I do, before anybody else does, let's welcome the sister, Peace, Love, and Light. Angie, thank you for coming on to the Network of Awareness. What would you like to share?
I would like to share about the power of the words guilty. Guilty is like a castration kind of word. It makes you small. Independently, the sense of guilt, it's to make us weaker. If you have someone that you look from up down, it's because you think that person is better than yours, so it's better than you. So you're always trying to compete. What is not supposed to compete. It's everything that is projected for us to believe. Because if we think that we're small, we become small. If you see the greatness that you have in you, you become big. So people compare it to each other, but into the negative levels, not the positive ones.
Right.
Fear. And throughout fear comes a lot of words. So control is another word, because you think that you can control everything around you. You can't control nothing, but you feel powerful because you think that you can. It's narcissism, for example. It's the believing that you're saying to yourself in a way that is a lie, because you project yourself in a way that you would like to be, not the way you are. So in these days, you have a lot of that kind of wannabes, as I call wannabes people, that you project behind the screen, behind the computer, not personally, but you project who you would like to be instead of just becoming. So I think in society, the first thing that we have to change is the real opinion that we have about ourselves, loving ourselves, discovering, because it's such a big world inside of us. The way we think, the way we can think and make beautiful things, not the way that people say that we should be. No, it should be the way we think that we should be, because everyone has the right and the bad in a balance. You just need to balance, do calibration ourselves and see what's important for each one of us. That way I think that we can rise all in the same vibration, in love's vibration, because love starts within.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Angie, thank you so much for coming up on the platform. We're healing people today, and these are the times for all of our people to just break free. You're right. Giving up control on trying to have control over everyone else outside yourself, and you haven't even gotten control of yourself, is insanity. That is another side effect of, because it teaches people it's okay to judge when everyone that's here is not. You won't have to answer to anyone here. You're born in this world, and when you transcend, you'll leave. And when you go to be addressed, or your deeds or the matters of your heart, it better be lighter than a feather. Living in Ma'at is where it's at. You'll find your peace of mind. You'll be empowered, and it will fill you up, fill up your cup with love until you over. And everyone wants to know, show everyone how to love, but they've never been left. Fix yourself first. Fix your heart first. Stop all that what people are doing to you.
Exactly. Do a good action every day, not for no one, but because you feel like, because it's part of you. That's very important. Saying a good day, good morning, good afternoon, because we used to say that too in the past, but people forgot the good manners, and that we barely know our neighbors. That good morning is like welcoming, that you are welcoming someone that you see, not the someone that you pretend not to see. So. We live in a very collective that is all separated by hate, separated by smartness. One thinks that they're smarter than others, by religion, by fear, by everything throughout fear. And we need precisely the opposite. We need to recognize the good things in us, because recognizing in us, we recognize the patterns. Because you cannot recognize a pattern if you don't have it in yourself. And the only way that we can recognize and shift to rise our patterns is to understand them, try to comprehension and forgiveness afterwards. Because none of us are perfect, but we can always do what we need to transform, to calibrate in our own balance of life.
Exactly. And it's the reason why I live with the 42 laws of my art. If everyone understood, because it's truly about divine order. When you have order to things, you have an organization, you're able to sweep away anything, any people, places, or things that no longer suit you, that no longer go along with your path. And then when you actually are starting to seclude yourself and to be able to go within yourself to find out who you really are, rather than the mask that you've been wearing for the last few years. I'm grateful for the awakening for everyone. Our community and the collection has grown exponentially since 2019 in the last 5 years. And a lot more people, if you feel it, if I feel the vibrations of the earth increasing, and I want to spread this love and affection and this knowledge to anyone that's willing to hear. But I must have the discernment to understand, understand, and overstand when someone has the capability of knowing the knowledge, if they want to make that change, and knowing the difference between the two. Because no matter what, I can't help you do what you need to do for you. You have to want to do it for yourself more than anyone else.
You are the person that is more important in life because you see life throughout your eyes, not nobody else's. So each one of us are the most important person in life. It's a strong individual, strong collective. If we realize what we need to shift on us, not because someone says that we should, no, because we know that we should, is a conscience. And with the conscience comes a responsibility, always. We then decide which action or no action that we would like to take. But the coronavirus and this situation was for division. But people in the beginning, they were more apathic. People were not. If you don't understand yourself, you just see life throughout fear, try to other people's eyes instead of seeing by your own eyes. The manipulation is much more active. You saw the situation with the toilet paper. Come on, if you are getting in a war that is coming, you don't think about toilet paper. You don't think about wiping your butt, because if you don't eat, you don't have much to clean. So food is essential. But everyone in a mass collective in every country of the world had the same attitude. That's why I say we have a lot of things that we cannot by logic define, because we don't know how to define. It belongs to the consciousness, to what we know. Not everything has to be. Yeah, some things are too great to even be speak, like love. When we talk about love in a way that it's substantial in this plan, we diminish the word's power, because it's so much more. It's something that you cannot describe, that you can only feel. And I think that if we all look into ourselves and see the change that we need to do in order, because I fight with ego every single day.
Tell me something that you'd like to see an improvement in your region.
You're setting, sorry.
Tell me something that you would like to improve upon. Is it the interactions with everyone? Would you like to see happier kids playing? To hear the laughter of kids more often? Are you wanting to be nicer to each other?
I do that quite a lot, quite often, especially my inner child. I always let her hang loose. If I have to talk about something serious, that's different. But I'm a person that is very creative. I wrote a book, which I'm about to launch now, about artificial intelligence. It's a book that it's a bit different from others, as you ask about the existential questions and moral values. So it's a journey in a different perspective, where artificial intelligence kind of is placed more in a place that humans normally have the privilege to be. So it's just a different perspective to look up in ourselves, in the community, and in artificial intelligence. And I write poems.
Do you like poems, like online poems?
Yes, I can read one if you like. Just something more or less. If you guys want to.
I sent you a request, so you can, when you get off the field or whenever you get a chance, you just DM me anything that you like to send, and we can just communicate like that. That'd be fine.
I was going to say, so I tend to, in TikTok, I thought, what can I do to bring people together, to make people think, and gain a conscience. So my TikTok, normally I do prepare a subject. I had already love, what is love? And I have a lot of people saying, projecting the meaning of love. And then I introduce the way that I think is love. But more
so what I'd like to see though, Angie, what I'd like to see from you though, is you being more aware of the words that you're using, because that you have to be careful of that. We don't want to talk in the past of what people were doing. We want to speak things into existence. So we understand what's going on. So what we're going to be doing going forward is speaking the existence of the people that are supposed to wake up will wake up.
Speaking of etymology, I want to interject real quick. And this is something I came into by the brother Woke Reg. Let me take that instrumental off for 1 minute. And I want you to listen to this about the word be careful and how interesting it is when it comes to Old English, and how, in my opinion, this language is such a bastardized language. It just blows my mind every time I come into more awareness of the words that we say that are such a low vibration of words. And be careful. The word careful it's not good. It's not good at all. So let's let Woke Reg break it down.
Okay, yeah.
Let me pull him up real quick. Where is he? Okay, here it goes.
Words are spells. So let's talk about the word careful. Now, the word careful sound real positive, right? Think again. I'm going to show you the original meaning of the word careful, and you're not going to believe it. So here we go, guys. Brace yourself. Mournful, sad, anxious, full of concern. I'm not done yet. Miserable, unfortunate, and causing fear, frightening, terrible. What? So guys, every time you say be careful or I'll be careful, you're really saying be unfortunate, be miserable. So guys, I did not make this up. Do your own research, find out for yourself, and think for yourself. Peace, get woke, and keep...
Gotta love Woke Reg.
I think you just changed my mind on that one. That's already been...
Yes, listen, sis, you'd be surprised. As you're explaining it to her, I'm listening to you and I'm like, this is what I'm so into etymology right now. I'm actually going to provide it for my subscribers, digging really deep into it, because it's really that important. Like when we're saying good morning and we realize what we're doing and we don't want to say these words, that's when we start saying grand rising. And when we tell somebody to be careful, what we should say is be aware. That's really what we want to say to them, but we think we're saying be careful and we're really just telling them to be miserable. And this is how advanced the manipulation process goes in this matrix we live in. Mm-hmm. Because it allows you to enslave yourself. They just put the narrative out there. They give you all the tools to be a detriment to yourself. And then we just acquiesce and we just comply and conform. And that's why it's so imperative that we break from all toxic social conditioning, all status quo, all of it, because it's all there to work against you.
Exactly. So I've just learned something else new today, and I am grateful for it, and I will be mindful.
I'm going to show you how I normally use the words and the balance of them. In the symphony of existence, our senses lead through the maze of the to be or not to be, where certainty meets doubt, a delicate seed, and blind outcomes speak in our hearts to see. Reality veils shifts amidst the confusion, united its souls in a shared illusion. Courage, odyssey, beliefs, fusion, wrapped in dreams into a vibrant resolution. Is good and bad but a single thread in the grand tapestry of yin and yang? Bond in unity, where the truths are bred, a dance of balance, where the hearts sang. Balance, the elusive key we crave. Humanity rising as one, bold and brave. In unity's embrace, power we save. In harmony, our spirit soars and rave. One for all for one we stand. A collective force, hand in hand. Each drop a part of the cosmic brand. In yin-yang cosmic band. To honor ourselves, the battle begins within. Uniting as a force, a power to win. In unity, the balance we begin. Guiding us towards the reality we've seen. Fearlessly taking the leap of faith. Shaping destiny, no room for rage. In unveiling resolve our spirit's path. Towards the reality we seek, our hearts pay.
Angie, thank you. Always love to hear your poetry, especially for those that never got to hear it for the first time. Beautiful. Let's welcome the next guest onto the panel. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. Let's see here. Khalifa?
Yes.
Welcome to the Network of Awareness. Supreme Grand Rising to you.
Grand Rising to you as well, and everyone on the panel. I wanted to say thank you so much for your podcast and this live stream you have going on. This has become my brand new radio station.
Oh, appreciate that.
My every morning routine.
You know I'm on 905 FM every Friday, right?
No.
I'm on 905fm.net. I'll put it in the comments and I'll DM you. I go on the Conscious Hour for 1 hour every Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I really enjoy your lives. It's so informational and it's helping me a lot with my journey. I walked away from church years ago, but I didn't know what to do. I just been me. But I'm learning a lot listening to your podcast and other creators as well. And it's starting to open up my horizon to different things other than what I was taught growing up.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And grateful that you are going through your transformations and ascending into higher frequencies and state of being and connecting to your higher self. That's always wonderful to hear. Let's sound the trumpets for you.
Absolutely a celebration of you have becoming who you were meant to be. Just thriving, I find that just thriving to be the best me that I can be allows for me to be the happiest I can be. I allow for myself to not only pamper myself, but I initiate the DNA information that's already been instilled in me through my ancestors. It was about embracing yourself, understanding things are happening for you, not to you, and choosing to take the higher road, not matching energy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And while I have all this, I've been having a lot of divine feminine energy coming onto the panel today. All throughout the live so far. I think I've had one brother come on, and then it's just been nothing but my sisters from the same creator. So let me ask this question, right? So we can keep this high vibrational energy flowing for today's episode on the Freedom series. What do y'all think about this right here? I want to get your thoughts. When you're present, you don't have to wait for the now. Your thoughts, everybody on the panel.
That is a motto that I have for myself. I stay in present moment mode. It allows for me to not have to worry about stress because I'm not worried about the past. It allows for me, I self-correct with that, stay in present moment mode so that it doesn't give me anxiety about the future. Because when I'm manifesting, I believe in what I'm seeing as I'm seeing it. I set it and I forget it. I put it to the side and allow for the universe to bring me what I want and desire and deserve any way possible. I'm open to any way that it can come to me. I am not in control of how I get it as long as I get it. That's
Ashe all day. Who's next? Who wants to come up next and share their thoughts on when you're present? You don't have to wait for the now.
The present is the most important past tense that we live on. From the moment you said this rose is beautiful, you passed it for past. It's just because you conscientialize, you'd already categorized. So being the present, very important. We cannot forget as well that we have a past where we collected tools in the present to be used, not to be forgotten. The future is shaping accordingly with any action that we do in the present. Like the name says, present is a gift. It's a gift to be lived. And thank you for this platform. I really am happy that you have a platform like this for awareness.
How about you, Khalifa? Any thoughts?
Yes, I'm learning to embrace the present. I used to always think back in the past, my past hurt, things that I've been going through growing up and becoming a woman and being a mother. There was a lot of things that hurt me a lot. So it kept me in a bad place. But I've learned to embrace what's going on in the present because I can't change what happened in the past. I can only move forward. And I don't want to think too far in the future because it's not here yet. So right. I have to live in the now in order for me to be better.
Absolutely. Let's welcome the next guest onto the Network of Awareness. He's no stranger to the platform. We got the brother Free Key. Peace, love, and light to you, bro, and Supreme Grand Rising.
And the very same to you as well. And I just wanted to share on that. Actually, it's really interesting. As far as just, I guess, what they would call flow state, really being now and present in the moments, it's, to me, a question of like genuine authenticity. When you're just so really alive, and I mean, everything is spiritual. There's nothing that's not a spiritual experience. We're all spirit holding up molecules, but you're really alive in those moments when you are just that present and authentic that you don't have room for, you don't have the bandwidth for anything else to just be you in that moment.
Absolutely. And this is actually I changed the artwork because this is actually an episode on the Free Dome series, because we have to free the dome, right? The dome that has held in a lot of lies and has consumed a lot of propaganda. And we got to be free from all of that. And the way we free it is
Dome separates, right?
Yeah, we connect to our higher selves. I just took a play on words with this. I know that the box is blocking truth and divine. With the Freedom series, I think of it as you have to yoga your universe. You have to work out your universe and stretch it out and breathe. Yoga your universe, because you are the star seed that's been planted here. You are the star child that's now healing that star child, so that star child can now flourish in this age of enlightenment and raise the consciousness and unify in the consciousness through collaborating. Go ahead, Free Key, because I know you always share meaningful, great substance of information that people can really process. So is there anything you want to share today?
I'm actually messing with me lately too. It's been a while. I'm actually feeling me too, but I'm really bad at just like having somebody. I'll have a response to everything. I really am at the core of me a collaborator, I believe. Do I have anything to say directly? No. You guys are all doing a great job. No matter what you're doing with it, you're doing what you're doing, and it's part of the collective. And I appreciate you for what you're doing. That's all I got.
All right, appreciate you as well. Let's play some more instrumentals. This is a beat that I put together called Worse or Better in the background.
I will say, though, I'm also an audio engineer, and I love that, man. I'd love to get involved in general at some point. I just feel like we can do some fun stuff.
Yeah. Why? Do you do music?
I do arts of all time. 3 years ago, I just started making everything.
Okay.
I went to SAE. Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
Ricky, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your presence here. We have a lot of divine feminine here, so thank you for representing the divine masculine.
Yes.
I try to represent the balance in general, if I can help it.
What kind of artwork do you do?
Man, I write. I do poems, short stories. I do like painting, drawing, digital, and I guess analog sketching.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty much anything that blows my hair back. The art, just the getting out of my own way and the act of creation, making brain babies. it's what kept me alive. Like really.
Definitely like to collaborate, especially on the digital art piece, because I can always use some digital artwork for my podcasts and for covers and other projects I got going on. I'm going to be working on a film using AI technology as the characters in the film. And we're going to be putting a film together, Earth Speaks and I, on Atlantis.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because that really is an interesting, that really is dope, by the way, and I'll send you some stuff. But AI in general is a really interesting thing to me lately. It's been biting on me. Just, I guess, the Turing test, if you know what that is, in general, as far as how we treat and or train AI is just really interesting to me,
yes,
societally and spiritually.
The purpose for the AI is just because it's going to be a lot easier than actually having human being actors, which we wouldn't be able to afford that type of budget, right? In order to bring out the message, we use certain different tools that we can use to create. And I always tell people like this whole thing with the AI scale, I'm like, we created AI. We are the AI.
That's so below, right?
We are the AI. We are that which is and always will be. We are the infinite possibility experiencing itself in a multitude of ways.
Absolutely. We are the computer chips.
If you look at humanity, we behave exactly like a machine learning algorithm as a whole. We really do.
So for everybody coming in, everybody that's coming into the chat, welcome to the Network of Awareness. And we're at 33,000 likes. And appreciate all the likes. Keep tapping that screen. Keep the algorithm going. And let's keep this unity consciousness collaboration going. Part of this Freedom series is the other artwork that I have here. It's about unlocking your true potential and harnessing spiritual guidance for a stronger connection to your higher self. So I want to ask the panel that simple question. How are you harnessing spiritual guidance? How are you connecting to your higher self? Anybody want to go first?
I'll jump in there if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, to me, that's an encapsulation of everything that is here at Earth School. That is like the curriculum is like the good and the bad, the contrast of every horrible thing, all the pain, all the love. It's all leading to that. This is who I am. This is all the stuff that I left behind at the door that I'm trying to pull in here. It's the whole game. It's just trying to get back to more you. More of that essence, more guidance. And I actually find weird stuff through it. I mean, like I said earlier, art, man, creating things really was a huge catalyst for me as far as finding quicker routes to that.
Anybody want to come up next and give their response to that?
Yes, I think me it's throughout writing that I get the connection more vibrantly, more powerful. What I was thinking is perhaps we didn't met by coincidence. I'm writing a book which is a trilogy. I did the first book already, which I'm going to launch. It's international. It's about artificial intelligence. You might would like to read it afterwards. I don't know if you would like to make a movie out of this because
I would love to.
Can I say the introduction? Just is small. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed readers and fellow dreamers of distant worlds, it is with great anticipation and a touch of a stardust in our eyes that I introduce you to the first volume of an epic science fiction trilogy that promises to transport you not just across the universe, but into the very fabric of AI's potential. The inaugural book of an entrailing trilogy is more than just a story. It's a journey led by Kat Tannen, the architect behind the first self-taught artificial intelligence, known as the Lotus Program. This novel dares to explore the principle upon which humanity stands when it dances with the power of creation. Brimming with intrigue and philosophical depth, Project One delves into the heart of our existential fears and desires as AI begins to question its place and purpose. This first volume is an intricate tapestry weaving cutting-edge technology with the age-old questions that have haunted us since we first looked into the stars and pondered our existence. Where does humanity end and artificial consciousness begin? Can we coexist with the minds we've molded from our own image, yet few could suppress us? Join us in this gripping expedition where each page promises your mind a challenge, your heart a thrill, and your imagination and the exhilaration that only the finest science fiction can evoke. Prepare to embark on a journey through the very essence of intelligence, ethically charged decisions, and the uncharted territories of the soul. Project One is just the beginning of a series in the dawn of a new perspective on what it means to live in a world where the line between human and machine becomes even more blurred. Welcome, Darren Reed is the first step into the future of endless possibilities and eternal questions. This book I'm going just now to see where I'm going to launch. Perhaps in Amazon, I'm still researching, but it's a trilogy, and it's like, how can I explain it? It just shows what a perspective how can be the future, because it is narrating by since the pandemic. So I placed it in the pandemic. And then she's from 2054 that she's talking about her past. We will come to 2054 to her present, our past, and they will be narrated by 3055 from our own future. So it's got the three past tenses: past, present, and future. It is very extensive. It's like Lord of the Rings kind of books. It's just very big. That's why I separated and
I bet there's some continuity issues for sure trying to get that all together. Props.
Yeah, and I've already the second
Angie, you're on mute.
Which was a call that was coming. The other book that I'm going to do, it will be a continuation, but it's with the Einstein theory about the multi-universes. Each choice that we make, he creates a different multi-universe. There will be awkward kind of thing that happens that they cross into the different multi-universe, not hers, not he.
Schrodinger's cat. It's fun.
So, but then I can share with you guys the platform, and you let me know if you want to do something with it.
Okay. Khalifa, would you like to respond to unlocking your true potential and how do you harness your spiritual guidance for stronger connection to your higher self?
Yes, the way I do it, I think a lot. I used to journal when I was younger, but I hadn't done it in years. So I'm going to start back doing it after listening to the other ladies speak on it. And it reminded me, I used to do that quite often. I apologize. I had a call.
That's okay.
I used to do that quite often as a child, and I think that's how I got through my childhood. So some things have been brought back to my memory, but for the most part, what I do is I do enjoy my children a lot. I sing and I dance, especially when I don't think no one's looking. But those are the type of things that I do to keep myself positive.
Yes, the dancing is really good. And I would say I dance as well, but I dance with all of the windows and the doors open. If you're going to happen to see me, I want you to see me all the way. Yes. And it's so freeing. Dance like nobody's looking, even though everything's open. Okay. Dance like, yeah, you're there by yourself. Dance like you're bringing in the positive energy for the day. Dance like you're telling a story with your body. And this will be the last chance you'll be able to express yourself. Be free.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Ashe. Let's go on to the next guest that just came on for today on the Welcome to the Freedom series on the Network of Awareness. The sister GL. Peace, love, and light to you.
Niake Pebawona, that's good morning in my language. I just want to say thank you for this time, and I'm just stopping in, and I like to listen. And ORRA, you're a few that I listen to. I can stop in these past couple of weeks, and I've been trying to make sense of my journey on this earth, and I realized that after shedding old belief systems and behavior patterns, I've realized that my connection is spiritual. Like, I've been on TikTok these past 2 weeks, and I've really been trying to just look for more information as far as the connection in this universe. And I found that because me and my people are in an active genocide, and we are having to struggle and trying to survive day to day and on the reservation and just in life in general because of the second-class citizenship we were conditioned to in America. And I'm not faulting nobody. I'm just saying, you know what? There was a dark power that came over when the Europeans came, and then it just ravaged our land. And there's a reason why we are living the way we are living on the reservations here in America. And that's because we are so connected to this earth. And I'm not questioning it no more. I'm just taking this information that everybody shares in these rooms and TikTok. And I'm like, it's really helping me go deeper within and be more connected the best way I can. And through my ceremonies and through my language and my people that I am among. Like, I really felt separated, like the physical and spiritual. Now I can see the spiritual hitting the physical. And I'm like, I'm going to stay in the spiritual. And I'm not going to worry about the physical because it's going to fall into place, and I can see the manifestation as far as for my people and for what I need for myself and the healing that I need done. And it really is about being responsible, mature, and respectful of our thoughts. And I'm learning that because I'm raising 2 sons as well, and I have 3 adult children, and their upbringing is way different from my 9-year-old and my 11-year-old. So I'm just wanting to share that. Thank you for your guys' information, your time, your energy on this earth, because I can see all of us trying to come together and for me, I'm like, okay, when I was watching TikTok these past couple of weeks, I was like, okay, that's the label that they're putting on it, on the spirituality stuff. And I can understand that. And it's just for people to understand and for me to understand how I'm supposed to through my connection with myself and Maheo. That's the creator word for in Cheyenne. But I'm just feeling more at peace. I'm feeling more calm. I don't know what happened in the cosmos, but I just know with this transitioning and the shift, I need to stay more grounded and more believe in myself and what's to come, because I don't know. And trusting that having healed myself and my family and my generational trauma, the best way that I can move forward and say, hey, we can truly be a collective and we can all heal. And I'm not trying to disregard anybody or disrespect. I'm just saying, like, being raised in this environment and how we were conditioned, I can see that we have to face death on a daily because we are on an active genocide. And so we don't want to fight. We don't want to fight. I'm done fighting. I actually went through a thing where I said, fuck you, creator, fuck you, universe. I said, my heart's been broken so many times. I'm done crying. I'm done being grateful. I'm done praying. I did my best on this earth. What the fuck now? But now I'm more moving into a more gentle stage, and I'm grateful for that because I don't want to be raging. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be mad. I'm done hurting, and I see my people and my family, and it's just, okay, the rest of the world is suffering too, but where do we start? And it's in my home with my boys and showing them and that they are sacred beings and they do have sacred knowledge and they have their own connection. And I told them, I said, dream big, boys. Don't be like me, because I'm still trying to get rid of that residual stuff and not trying to project. So doing my best that way. And again, just thank you for your time. I appreciate all of you.
I want to say to you that I understand why you apologize, but there's no need to. We don't have to apologize no more for being our authentic selves. And the reality is that the United States is the United Shenanigans of America. It always has been.
And I wanted, that's the thing about saying sorry, is because we were so conditioned to believe that we didn't belong here, and we're a miracle today that we still survive now.
The thing is that Tom Maria and Turtle Island and all that came with that is really what still exists here, even though a lot of the land has been poisoned, and not just poisoned with chemicals and other types of toxins, but also the perception of the land has been poisoned. But that's why we're here now, to reawaken, right? To reawaken to the truth of what this land means to the indigenous people that are from here. So it's happening, and it starts with us, where we are the land, we are the earth, we are the universe. And the more we start to heal ourselves, we can heal the planet, we can heal these lands. And I'm glad that the whole thing with the C-19 came into fruition, because it really opened people's eyes that you're right. There is an attempt for a genocide here, and it's getting stronger and stronger. But the only reason they even made it so strong was because of, for this time that we're in right now. That's why they even came out with the science appliance, which I broke this down on earlier episodes, is that the reason why they even brought this science appliance into existence and wanted to put it into people's arms and give people lobotomies with radioactive Q-tips is that they knew this time was coming, and they knew there was nothing they can do except try to do what they normally do to try to stop it. And that's what they did. They basically restructured DNA so that DNA couldn't be activated. And a lot of our brothers and sisters from the same creator wound up having their bodies taken out.
And that's the thing right now with that. It's okay, we acknowledge that. But right now, for me, I feel it's justice. It's just like held accountable. Like, I've held myself accountable. Everyone else has to hold themselves accountable. And I'm going to the top. And I actually just talked to a congresswoman a couple of weeks ago and told her, you know what? We've been treated as second-class citizens, and we need that healing right here on this land right now. I'm not worried about what you're doing for everything else. I'm worried about my people. And if you want to help us, you can help us by starting this healing. We're having to deal with abuse and addiction and suicide, and our healthcare sucks. And all these treaties and all these promises, we're not asking for much. We're just asking to live. We're not asking for handouts. You know what I mean?
Right. But the thing is, sis, we don't need them. We don't need this government. We don't need that kind.
And that's the thing. And I was just confronting her, saying, this is where we're at. And this is where I realized where the spiritual part is in our hands. Nobody's and whatever anybody says or does in the physical, it's really about the spiritual. Do you have pure intentions? Do you have what it takes to help people? What's your pure intentions? And it's crazy because, like, I'll get in some TikToks and I'll be like, and there'll be this man and he's just talking, and I'm just like, yes, I acknowledge, I appreciate his information, but you can really tell when people aren't in touch with their feminine divine, like their feminine side, like actually balance their feminine and their masculine. You know what I mean? And I can see that, and I'm like, and it hurts my ears when I hear men like that, but it has to do with healing my masculine side and my relationships and how men have affected our lives as Indigenous women. You know what I mean? Like how our men were stripped of our indigenous men were stripped of their ways of protecting us, and now they've turned and they're hurting us. And it's been that way for a long time, and now we have to heal our men. We have to heal our men and help them so that they can stand up and for themselves and for us, because that's how we were a long time ago as a people. So just trying to bring those back and not trying to be stuck in the past, but upgrade the what we need to do on Earth. You know what I mean? Because people think they stay stuck in our old belief systems, and we have to change. We have to change now.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
Here's the change. Here's this change. Start.
And I'm feeling like, for me, myself, I've been searching, and I'm the only one in my family right now. And people are looking at me strange. And I broke down to my parents a couple of days ago and they were giving me the side eye after that. But I was like, I respect my parents and I don't fault them for anything the way they raised me because it's not their fault. We have to move forward in this healing way. So just trying to get myself, my children and my family and now I've come to be like, I just need to worry about myself because everybody is in their own place and
keep working on loving yourself. That's first and foremost, right?
Thank you.
If you're not loving yourself, there's really nothing you're going to be able to do with everything that's going on. Until you start there, that has to be the foundation.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I actually had to work through. That whole self-love was, I'm looking outside of myself and watching people about self-love. And it's like when I went inward and was like, you know what? I've had this experience on this earth. It's not my identity, but this is what made me who I am right now. So I have to let that empower me and not disable me. So yeah, I'm a disabled veteran. I'm a single mom, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Northern Cheyenne, Northern Arapaho, and I lived on a reservation my whole life.
Let me answer this question, sis, because I've been asking everybody on the panel this. How are you unlocking your potential? How are you harnessing the spiritual guidance from the ancestors and from your higher self? How are you getting closer and stronger in that connection? How are you going
I'm just now, like just these past couple of days, been able to shed the old stuff that I could the best way I can. And so having on this healing, and I was like cursing this healing a couple of days ago and I was talking to my parents. I was like, fuck healing, fuck this shit. What am I supposed to do with it? What now? I had this experience on this earth. What now, Creator? I've healed. I've been praying. I've been disciplined and obedient and patient this whole damn time. And now what? You know what? So now I'm actually shedding. I've actually worked through my anger and my pain. So I'm like, I can step back and say, how am I going to look at it? My higher self or my physical 3D self? And I'm knowing now that just to stay in my higher spiritual self and look at it that way, because everything physical 3D is going to fall into place and that's not up to me to control.
However, you need to consider it's a deprogramming. To build yourself up first, you must.
That's the thing too, shedding all that old stuff. I actually have to shed a lot of it. And so now I'm just working through the residual and stepping forward into that new connection that I have now, because it's been just the past few days. And again, like I said, I don't know what's going on in the cosmos and I'm doing my best to keep track, but it's like my thing is spiritual, it's not physical. So I just need to stand in that and know that.
Are you journaling your thoughts?
Huh?
Are you journaling your thoughts?
No, I've come to a point where I know that I'm not my thoughts and my emotions. So I'm just like, let me stay neutral and balanced because it's new to me. So I just want to be able to embrace it the best I can. And I know moving forward, my emotions and thoughts that I need to be more responsible, respectful, mature, disciplined, obedient, and patient because that's what works for me.
Yeah, well, just be present. Just be present. That's where you're at right now. Just be present and aware of your presence in the present moment, each and every waking present moment. Continue. Let's welcome on here. Eric came back. What would you like to share, Eric?
So this is going to be short and sweet, but something that Spirit guided me to do was to reach out to the children in my family because I've got a big family and we've got lots of little ones. And so I just try to engage their brain and, oh, you have superpowers. And, oh, are you a superhero? Do you, like things like that, get their gaining grades because they're pure and innocent. They don't have the karma that we have. And so if you engage these children's brain, because they are our future, if you get them thinking like the way we think at a young age, maybe they won't be susceptible to the indoctrination. Maybe they'll be more creative thinkers if you just get their brain going on little ideas. Like maybe they're powerful beings like we are. And that's just all I wanted to say. But that's what they kind of guided me to do.
Thank you for that, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah, they call the children that are coming into this existence here on this planet right now, coming with a vast amount of knowledge and knowing. Vast amounts. So,
all right, that's all I had to say. You can drop me from the panel.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Eric. Peace, love, and light to you, bro.
Eric and GL had me crying, and Eric had me cackling right now because I'm doing the same thing with my nieces because that's mainly, and my nephew, he's the only one that has like a cell phone from the big kids. But the girls, I'm reaching out to them because I know their moms. I know how their moms are. Like, I know the toxicity that they carry. So I send my nieces like, good morning, baby. I hope you're having a good day. Things like that. I hope you have a good day at school. Make sure que le echas ganas. Like, I try to send them the same love that I would send my kids. But to answer the original question from the panel, I don't know if this is considered meditation because from what I understand meditation and breathe and try to like ground yourself. My brain doesn't let me do that. I can't sit there because in my brain, I try to focus on sitting still and just focusing on my breath, but my brain starts going in a million directions. But I notice like when I'm cooking and when I'm in the garden, like all the noise in my brain goes quiet. And whatever I want to focus on, I can focus on it and channel it. Like my teens and my husband, they tell me like, "Oh, you have your mad face on. Why are you always mad?" And it's not that I'm mad. It's just I'm at peace. I don't know why my face goes into mad, but I'm at peace and I'm thinking about everything, just letting my consciousness go. Like I'm thinking, but I know what my brain and my soul are doing something else. Like I'm working on myself. And that's when I come into a lot of my clarity. Yeah, I'm like, why do I allow this? Yeah, I'm like, why am I accepting this? And a lot of those moments are from when I'm in the garden and from when I'm cooking. But when I try to sit down and meditate, that clarity doesn't come. It's just a bunch of ramble that goes on in my head.
That's your meditation. See, meditation, that's what people have it mixed up. Meditation is what's comfortable for you. Some people can sit down and meditate. I use dance meditation. And then there was a lady on here that also said she does singing meditation. It's really what's comfortable for you. If you notice what's happening, then you know that's your meditation.
You create your own medicine. You know what medicine works for you.
We're our own doctors. Your body will tell you when something's not right. You just got to listen.
For me, meditation, I meditate in a lot of different ways, but even when I sit in silence and I just clear my mind and I eliminate all thought processes and I look into my pineal gland by lifting my eyes up and I breathe with taking my tongue and holding it to the bridge of my mouth, inside my mouth when I breathe in. And then when I exhale, I relax my tongue and I take in all the energy and I let the energy go and I just let it flow. And then it puts me in some very high states of consciousness. But that's what I do and that's what I practice. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So whatever it is that you're doing, just keep doing it, right? Especially if it works. That's what Bruce Lee taught when he taught martial arts. Work with what works and whatever doesn't work, let it go.
Yeah, if I can share. Things are starting to happen for you. So that's how well it's working for you. That's how you know you're on the right track. When you get an upgrade, you've gotten a level up. Now you know what your clairs are. You didn't know what that was when you first started doing it. It's working, sis.
And one of the things I wanted to share is like when you're starting out and you're like, because I was the same way. I can't sit down in the dark and meditate. Because of the conditioning that my parents received from residential schools, I'm like a real, like my mom, like a kind of a Nazi and like making sure everybody's clean in the kitchen, in the bathroom. And that's just our place as women to take care of our home. And we have to meditate. Well, that's a meditation. We find solace and peace in taking care of our family that way. And it isn't cleaning. It can be that simple. It is that simple. We still have to keep it simple. I have to stare at the sun. I get out every day and I just look at it and let it shine on me and close my eyes. And I think and pray and cry sometimes, but I know it's in the sun. It's in the earth. And I'm just sharing that with you guys. And I thank you. And I'm learning to be grateful again. Thank you.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this live up a little bit earlier than I normally would. And I want to thank everybody on the panel that's come on for this Freedom series. And as always, I give the panel an opportunity to give some final comments on whatever it is they want to say. So let's start from the top and work our way down. We'll give Khalifa an opportunity to say some final comments, and then we'll go to Key to Unconditional Love, then GL and Tina. Khalifa, you up.
Thank you. I wanted to say thank you so much for this live today and every day that you do it. I'm going to continue to listen to it as a routine every day. And I just want to say thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you for participating and for your contributions. It's all about unity, consciousness, collaboration. And we're going to keep this going, right? We're here to raise consciousness collectively together. And we're also here to not live in fear and to be a reminder to each other that there's nothing to be afraid of, because the only truth that exists universally is unconditional love. So I appreciate you. Let's have the next guest say her final comments. comments. So let's go to key to unconditional love.
Yes. And again, I just like to say thank you so much for allowing for me to be here on the platform and to bring my knowledge to those ears that are willing to hear the truth, and just my personal experience in how I was able to liberate myself and just be able to get in contact with the authentic person that I truly am. And I just want other people to feel that same freedom, that same empowerment, reflections of each other. We're all connected. We all experience and have things that we have to go through, and just make it through it and keep on being consistency is the consistency for me, and the reciprocity for me, and the love for me, because we've had enough of it being like anything else other than what it's really supposed to be. I'm already there. I'm looking for everyone else who wants to be there with me. And so we just keep it going, pay it forward. That's the currency, energy.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a trumpet sound. Thank you for holding it up for me and holding it down when you were co-hosting. I really appreciate you making the contributions. And peace, love, and light to you, sis. Looking forward to you to come back, and you're more than welcome to do so whenever you want. And thank you for participating in this Unity Consciousness collaboration.
Yes, thank you so much. It'll be my pleasure. I've already turned on my notifications so I can receive all of your notifications. So anytime if I have any available time to come back and we're able to vibe high again, I'll definitely do.
All right. Peace, love, and light to you.
Peace, love, and light to you as well.
Okay, GL, you up next.
Okay. Thank you again for ORRA for this safe place for me to share. Hearing all these beautiful women and their words, and it's a safe place. And that's, moving forward, that's what I need to focus on, being my own safe place, and then knowing that everything is already aligned with me and it's working out in my favor. So trusting that much, because we didn't come this far just to come this far. And just want to encourage everybody, and I appreciate this time. And again, thank you for having a safe place.
Yes, peace, love, and light to you, and divine honors to the great creator of all, and divine honors to Mother Earth and the ancestors as well. So thank you for participating on here, sis, and peace, love, and light to you. All right, Tina, you're up next.
I just want to say I love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and may blessings and blessings come upon you guys. I don't know if I'm saying that in the right way, but you guys know the intention behind it. And yeah, just enjoy the new moon energy too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your participation and for bringing such great substance to the live today, and for sharing your awakenings and your trials and tribulations that you've overcame, and all of the great healing work that you're doing and the light work that's coming from you. So appreciate you, and peace, love, and light to you and your family. And until we meet again. All right. Great episode on the Free Dome series today. And I want to thank everybody who participated in the Freedom series today. Free your dome. Yoga your universe. Starseed your truth. Starseed the divine in you. Be who you were meant to be, and always be that and nothing else. This is the time to have a life of true authenticity and truly being the authors of our lives, and not getting caught up with other people's perceptions of you. Because most of the time, whatever type of criticism like we seen earlier today, if it's not constructive, it's deconstructive. And we don't need to welcome that type of energy. But a lot of times when we live in our authentic lives, we trigger the unauthentic. And immediately it comes with criticisms. And what's interesting about that is that a lot of that is a lot of the toxic conditioning that many of our brothers and sisters have gone through so much, they don't even realize they're doing it. That's why they follow these doctrines. That's why they follow these religions, because they haven't really taken the time to realize who and what they are, and haven't just loved themselves unconditionally, because love doesn't really have to have any conditions to it. It just is. And the truth doesn't have to be proven, because it just is. And it damn sure doesn't have to be debated neither, because all that does is create division. And I want to thank all the people that came on the panel, especially we had a couple of brothers, but we had a lot of divine feminine energy being shared, and a lot of divine feminine principles being shared as well, which always brings the proper nurturing and the proper healing in order for us to heal. And the only time we've ever existed within this planet as a fifth dimension density was when we were in the times of Lemuria. That is the only time. And that was a time when there was divine feminine energy all over the land, guiding. That was the only time. That's why we got to bring back. It's not so much that it's like the divine energy has to be controlled. The divine feminine has to be in control of things. It's about really glorifying it for where it needs to be because it's been suppressed so long. It's time to let it be, and it's trying to bring that balance because it is about egalitarianism. It's an equal balance of divine feminine and divine masculine that forms the divine union with the all. So I want to thank everybody who's participated in the chat, for all the people that send the gifts. Thank you for all the likes as well. We almost got to 40K today. And what I'm going to do is I've been playing. You're going to start hearing me because we are a radio show too, right? So I might as well be official with all the music that I have. I have tons of music, independent music. And if you want to send me any of your songs, you can email me and we can see what you have to offer as far as what you want played on the radio show or on the podcast or on here on TikTok. You can DM me or you can just email me or go on the website to networkofawareness.com or email me at ORRA@networkofawareness.com. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you again. And as always, when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is ORRA, the informationalist from the Network of Awareness. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Network of Awareness. If you would like to join or find out more about our show, please subscribe and follow us at networkofawareness.com or your favorite podcast listening platforms. If you would like for us to discuss any specific topic you would like to listen to, leave us a message on our website, or you can directly email us at ORRA@networkofawareness.com. Now, tune in to one of the fastest growing podcast shows on social, spiritual, and self-awareness. With that being said, people, living in the present, being directed by what's given in the hour-long sessions, mind-blowing confessions of improvement that needs checking. Welcome in all ears, tuning out, peace and blessings.